Back to Scrims Zone stream. This is Metabusters versus Albert's Inferno. Albert's just suffered a tough loss on stream yesterday. Stav casted their downfall. We'll see if Stav will be able to,
Steal victory
manifest
for them.
another defeat, or if he also will end up losing. Maybe I can manifest that for him. Who knows? But
You
this should
rooting
be a
on
banger
Metabusters
series.
downfall?
Dude, I don't know. I like seeing people win, and I like seeing people lose too. It's like a dichotomy,
I
duality of
guess.
man. Hate to see them win, hate to see them lose.
So true.
But yeah, I mean, this should be a banger. This is one of the games I've been looking forward to like most towards the back half of the season.
Yeah, for sure.
I know that these teams like currently are a bit low on the standings, at 6th and 7th. I guess Metabusters is tied for 4th, but if we're going off the alphabetical order, Metabusters is pretty far down there.
True.
But anyway, I think both of these are pretty strong teams. I think they just haven't gotten to play too many, and Inferno unfortunately did take that FF earlier in the season, so I think it's kind of skewing them down a little bit. But I think
Taking our fists at will right now for making us miss that series, I fear.
exactly. But I do think this game is probably going to determine something pretty important in standings between these two
Yeah,
teams.
for
I
sure.
expect to see them land pretty near each other, so getting the head-to-head win against the other team is going to be pretty crucial here. But yeah, I mean, I'm
No way
not
Metabusters lose a third
100%
series. No way.
sure on the
I don't know.
rosters, but
Yeah.
I believe I have them correct. But I do want to take a look at our key matchup here. Stav's actually up a game into Hong, despite having a few worse stats. Very interesting champion pool for Hong here. Not what you normally see prioritized for him. I think this either means that he's played 8+ unique ADCs, or he's played Brandon to Stav twice.
Maybe he's just on
Stav's
the brand kick, you know?
Yeah, I mean, Stav's champions that he's played into Hongbaba are identical to his top 5 champions in general.
Nice.
So if this trend continues, Stav is just going to play his normal thing, and Teddy might mix it up, and we could see something interesting coming out of him. These
I have
top
my
3
doubts about that, but
champions for Hong are exactly what I'm looking at here, though. The Jinx,
yep.
Vayne, and Zeri have been huge for him, and that playstyle exactly fits in with what Inferno has been going for this season. They've been going for these
Yeah.
safer compositions, try to scale up, and just get absolute team fight monstrosities against the other teams.
Yeah.
And I think I was just completely doing it wrong. Okay. Did I just see a Darius? Yes, Corrin's Darius. Okay. But anyway, this is what I wanted to go to. Helping out with the teamfight identity, we do have this Ornn coming out from Draco. I don't think it's a champion you can really ban, but it facilitates everything Alberts wants to do so well.
Yeah,
So
for
I
sure.
think Metabusters probably need to prep something that they want to pick into it. I don't expect this
Yeah.
Darius to go through. It's Corrin's strongest champion. He's 12-5 on it. And I think his other champions do fall off a little bit in priority, but just looking across the board,
Yeah.
all of these champions for Metabusters are super high prio, so it's really hard to ban this team out.
Yeah, I do want to say I think meta has very much favored Inferno the way it has fallen off, or at least like based on stats that we have for current patch. I think Inferno has like a really strong like the way that they draft Jinx right now is super high prio, and I think it's really important to see what prio goes over for this champion. There's Jinx, there's Twitch is also like a shared champion between Sav and Teddy, so I'm curious to see what they choose to go for, like compositional wise. But yeah, definitely very curious to see where Inferno land on this Darius ban. Darius has been like a very popular champion for our Scrim Zone top laners, so I think they should try to take it out. Maybe try to blind the Ornn, because I think Corn has also fallen back to like the Ornn blind if Darius gets banned. So I'm curious to see what they sort of land on here. And I do also want to highlight Fujer's jungle pool here. Has done a lot of work for them. Sejuani is nasty and stuff like that, so curious to see what he goes for here. There are a couple other things. Stav with the Nyla. 14-4, really? That's fucking insane. But yeah, definitely a champion you need to watch out for. Not really super strong in the meta per se, but definitely could come up for Meta Busters here. Has like a lot of
Oh,
good pairings
that's
with
wrong.
their pools. So wait, what?
I keep forgetting we have to do so many delayed cast games. I just threw Discord up on the stream again. Number one leaker.
Gotcha. Leaking your Discord, dog. Too
Yeah,
much stuff.
check on screen if I exposed anything or something.
No, you didn't. You didn't. You're good, I think. But yeah, definitely gonna be super interesting to watch this draft. There's a lot of different things that could come out from either team, as we are gonna get into
Yeah,
draft
I
here.
mean, MetaBusters on blue side. Twitch is absolutely being banned first.
Yeah,
Like duh. I think Teddy could pick it, but if Teddy's picking it, Neela needs to be banned.
yeah,
Or you have to be really clever with how you draft. Omar does have a really good pool to counter Neela. You have Syndra there, you have Cassio there, like his two top champions. I'm
but
not sure
yeah,
if he plays the Talia, but that's a really strong counter into it too. So I
for
think
sure.
there could be an angle for Inferno if they're on blue side, but it doesn't matter because they're not. And Jinx is just going to get first picked here. Makes complete sense. I think Zeri could be a good counter here. I'd honestly like to see that get grabbed at some point for Teddy because I think things kind of fell down in Prio, but we could also just see something unconventional come out that's a more Jinx specific counter. But Albert is looking to just grab the Amumu right off the bat, and I'm not sure if I'm a huge fan of it, even though the champion is pretty good. I feel like Albert's performed really well in some other champions, but
Yeah, wasn't his Skarner really good if I remember correctly?
yeah, I mean that champion's gotten nerfs. I don't know how.
The nerfs are fake. The champion's still very, very blindable. But I think
Okay,
the
this is
like
crazy. This
okay,
might be one
Millia?
of the first Milio games we've seen from Jeremy. I don't know if he's played it in signups before. And Tusini's going to pick the Zeri mid.
That's so awesome. The Nile
It,
pick
it's
from
not
Cassini is
it's not
crazy.
locked. This was something that he played last season. It was an absolute terror to deal with. He
Yeah.
just knows how to roam so well and is able to punish super effectively with it. I don't know if I love it here.
Oh,
Yeah,
as we
we've
just
been
switched to the
seeing
boring ass vibe,
double
bro. That's
AP
crazy.
way more than we've seeing double AD, and especially with this Vi locked in. I don't think you can pick the Zeri, but it was a good
Yeah.
hover, and it definitely makes him worry about it. But I did double check, and Milio is the other champion that Jeremy has played. He's played it once. It's been banned against him once, so he's going to be adding another one to his
Yeah.
pool. But they do need to make sure to grab that because he's only played 4 champions in the server, and 3 of them are banned. So
That's crazy. I mean, Nami as a band makes sense versus Jacob. I do want to talk a little bit about the Vi. I think Amumu does a little bit better into Vi. So I'm not really a fan of picking it into the Amumu that's already shown, but definitely still a really solid pick champion, especially if you pair it up with like an aggressive jungler like the Renekton. You can just throw the ulti onto their target and then just wombo combo them with the Renekton to death. As they are just gonna lock in Draco's Ornn here. I think they've played it almost every game they played aside from like one.
yeah,
I
I mean,
think
I
they
think
played.
you just have to pick it here.
Yeah,
It's going to get denied. And honestly, I think they could care less about or
the lane
I
matchup.
don't think they could care less.
Yeah,
That phrase is so dumb, but they don't care about the matchup. They need Vi because it's the anti-Teddy button.
that's true. That
Like,
is true. That is
and
true. You do
honestly,
throw R and then Teddy can't
with
play.
Milio optimized it like locked in here and Janna Lulu band away, it actually makes Zaya a really hard champion to pick. Otherwise, that's like the
Yeah,
go-to in Divide because it just kind of ruins her life.
yeah.
But I don't think it's that good with Milio. I am checking right now; it's actually one of her worst support pairings. Um, the ones that are worse: Elise, Silas,
Okay,
Shaco.
that's awesome.
And then Lux is like her actual worst. It is like abysmally bad, but I mean that
That makes sense.
fuck Lux for it. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean I don't really know what Teddy's gonna optimize here. If we're looking at champions that are really good with Milio, a lot of them are already banned. Lucian or Tristana are ones that I definitely look to. Aphelios is still available, and if you want to go a little
could
okay,
be a Kaisa pairing
calling
here.
called it.
Aphelios is a
Yeah.
strong champion, scales very well. A little shorter range.
Or
I mean, you might just
yo,
go
they
for
locked the
Zaya
Zaya
anyways.
counter. Okay, so
Okay.
their lane is really suffering here. But you still are gonna have Milio ult to deal with. Renekton, I think is you're able to peel it. You're kind of hoping that Metabusters tries to opt for I can't even fucking talk. Opt for like an AoE CC ability because then Milio is gonna get insane value. but
Yeah.
you're kind of playing a kite comp, and Amumu can be a really defensive champion. The only real
Yeah.
problem with playing him in that style is his Q doesn't really let him get away unless there's a target for him to go to. But Jacob just going to pick up the Soraka. I think it's one of the enchanters that's still left on the table. Inferno did a good job of banning away some of his more comfortable picks. I think the Nautilus
Yeah,
and
for
Sona
sure.
are both really intelligent bans, but Soraka's definitely up there too. And I think that's kind of forcing Metabusters into a more scaling direction, but they have a very aggressive top side. So I think Inferno's going to need to
Yeah.
pick a mid laner that can test
Sort of be
something
a bridge.
early.
Okay. I do like the Ari. It does pair insanely well with the Vi. You kind of have the charm to help set up for the Q from Vi. Definitely like a really easy way to get a lot of picks, as the Cassio is going to be the hover for Omar here. It is
Yeah, I
his
mean,
most comfortable champion,
I
I
guess
believe.
we just let the Cassio one trick just go all the way through. It's not a good matchup for Cassio, but it's not a bad matchup for Cassio either. So he just gets
It
comfort in a matchup
does.
that probably gets played a lot. And Cassio has so much value into Vi,
Yeah.
Renekton. She's able to cancel out Ari's ultimate a little bit, but the range advantage for Ari is, it's kind of even, but it's going to make Renekton and Vi's life hell.
Yeah.
And Alberts is kind of stuck in the same situation they were yesterday, where they have so much counter engage, but they don't really have any way to force a fight. Like you have a Mumu ult. That's it though. Like
Yeah.
you
I mean,
can
you could
use an
use
Ornn
the
ult,
Ornn
but it's
aggressively, but
that's a follow up ability, and anyone who tells you
yeah,
otherwise is lying to you.
flying. Yeah. I would tend to agree. I don't know. It's like they're playing this disengage comp into like a comp that kind of wants to engage. Like you, as if you're playing Vi, you're playing Renekton. You kind of are forced into these scenarios where you want to just keep going forward, and like the way Cassio tends to want to play is like sort of a disengaged playback, try to let the team fight play out way slower, and then I think I'm not sure. I think it's going to be a little tricky for meta busters to fish for these super hard commits, especially if they choose to fight in chokes. Like this Inferno team is disgusting in chokes, by the way. Like Ornar and Amumuar is going to make your life on objectives really hard. So I really want to see Inferno try to set up vision early on these dragons. You want to be at these objectives first, and then try to like uh make them come into you, and then we'll see how they really play out the team fights. But yeah, definitely two very interesting drafts from both teams. I don't know. I think like there is, in my opinion, a little lack of teeth on the side of Inferno. Like Xayah is not like the greatest hyperscaling champion. Like she sort of
I mean,
spikes on like
she's damn good. Like let's not
yeah,
get it
but
wrong.
it's not like a
She's not as strong as Jinx is right now, and she doesn't have
yeah,
the reset ability. But if you get a
yeah,
Xayah with items, and Teddy's gonna have items, it is
yeah.
Song
Of
we're
course,
talking about here.
yeah, yeah, of course,
Especially with Vi, Renekton, Ari kind of having to play up in your face that the Blade Caller is going to be insane. Like
yeah,
she's going to deal
definitely,
so much damage with those feathers late in the game. But I mean, this is the same position that they got themselves into yesterday, where they need to maintain either even or a gold lead,
yeah,
despite not really having the teeth to do it in the early game,
yeah,
and they need to
no
be
problem.
on objectives first. They need to
Yep,
force Metabusters to engage into them, or they can't do anything. And this is a spot that they've put themselves into repeatedly this season. So I don't know. We'll just see if they've learned from their defeats and they're going to be able to kind of clean up and get it going this game. But I have confidence in this team. But this is a very standard Meta Busters draft. The only
yeah.
thing that really sticks out to me is normally Jacob plays a champion that has more agency early in the game. But I mean, Soraka can be really powerful in the right
Yeah, they
hands.
just opt for like scaling enchanter into scaling enchanter, so I don't expect too much action to happen on the bot side. But I think that does favor Jinx in like a long-term state or long-term game sense. Like Jinx loves these kind of lanes where you don't have to play super aggressive. You can just sort of sit back, farm to 3 items, and then try to show up at team fights. I think the onus is really on Fujir on this Vi to like really unlock his top side, really get the ball rolling for his team, and I think that's a really comfortable position that Metabusters have put themselves in. They've always thrived when Fujir is on these kind of engaged champions who can really start up their plays for them. So I really like uh this style of draft for them in particular. Just being able to pair with a strong champion like Ari, enable those resets with the Vi. I think they're really comfortable in this game. So I wouldn't say I have a hard time like deciding who really won this draft. I could go back and forth on it, but I think it's gonna be a banger for sure to watch. So I don't know. Where do you fall on it?
Yeah, I mean, you just know that Inferno's going to draft this way. It's how they've drafted
Yeah,
all season. So I don't know. Like you could say that they lost because they have a non-proactive draft. They can't do anything, but they drafted exactly to their play style. So it's just going to be a matter of how they play the game out.
yeah, I would
MetaMasters
agree.
is a pretty proactive team, so it's going to be a little difficult for it to work. But I mean, I can just be a win rate Andy here and like look at Jinx and then look at Zaya and then
Yeah, you could, you could.
But anyway,
I do
moving
love my
on,
win
the
rates.
champion matchups, as you pointed out, Vi really does suffer into a Mumu. Vi has never beat a Mumu in Scrim Zone. Cassiopeia with the favorable matchup into Ari, but Jinx has absolutely cleared Zaya.
Yeah,
Just kind
that
of
makes
what we
sense.
saw before. Uh, I don't know. It's just kind of a mess, but uh, yeah, I mean, this is just very strong comfort for Albert's Inferno. As we've
Yep,
said, like this is the type of comp that they like. They're all positive on these champions, albeit just by one game
absolutely.
apiece. Jacob Soraka is lower priority. Inferno did get value out of all the bans that they threw his direction. And Fujer's
Mm.
Vi, one of his lower performing champions. Um,
As they didn't default to
yeah.
like a Sejuani or Jarvan. I feel like they've always thrived
Yeah, I mean,
on
I think
Fujon, these
Vi is
more
just
proactive
the
champions.
go button on Teddy though. It's you can't
Yeah,
miss
that's
it,
fair.
unless he picks Zaya. And you didn't ban
Yeah,
Zaya. But Zaya has a less than favorable matchup into Jinx, and it makes it harder for your team to be proactive. I
yeah,
personally could have seen an angle for another Sivir like we saw last night. Um, that could have been interesting because you can kind of spell shield the Vi ultimate. It doesn't really work most of the time because you're going to get poked out. But I don't know. There
yeah.
could be an angle there, and that way you can kind of have fake engage by just pressing the button and running at people really fast. But if Inferno is able to get an advantage here and push it, this comp is going to be really hard to come back against. Something else I did find interesting is none of these players have played each other before,
Hey, really?
except for Stav and Hong.
That's awesome. That's awesome. First time matchups, like Stav and Hong are probably two of our better AD carries. Definitely two very strong players. I'd say Stav tends to play more of the weak side, like goes down a bit of CS, but like lets his team get a little more active on the map. Whereas Teddy is more of the resource Andy. Like he loves playing with a lot of CS, a lot of gold, try to get himself as ahead as possible. So
Yeah, something to note here is that actually I don't know why I phrased it that way. Important update for you guys on the state of the game. Tusini's internet has died. So
nice.
worst case, he's just gonna hop on a hotspot in a couple minutes. But we are gonna have some time to kill here. Uh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the sign up is between games right now. Otherwise, I would go and watch
No
some of
spectate
that.
the sign up real quick.
But
Yeah, true.
yeah, I
A
don't know.
lot of new players coming out in the sign up as well. So definitely, if you guys ever want to play in season format or just in general, just throw in some signups. Come play. You can ping play. I think you can ask an admin to ping players so you can get people in, get those signups running. Typically, we love to have fun and just play random signups whenever we can. So don't be afraid to message an admin, get them to ping people, get signups running. So we're always down to play League of Legends PC edition with our friends, I fear. So
Yeah, I think Tusini's back, so we
we're
should
back.
not have to wait too long. Lobby's probably going to be bugged, so I don't know. It might take some time.
Yeah, should be exciting. I am excited to see all these first time matchups as well. I think Draco versus Corn should be like a pretty fun matchup to watch as well. Draco's just been playing weak side for her team a lot, so whereas Corn has been playing these more aggressive champions, and even now is like still playing the Renekton, just trying to get pro for their jungler. So curious to see how that'll go as well. Uh, I don't know. Yeah, Albert's put a lot of Mumu, right? This champion has
Yeah,
been
he's 2-1 on it. It
yeah,
is
this
this
champion's
champion
been
to
very
watch.
popular. Yeah, him has been very popular recently. It is a very simple champion to execute as well because you just throw Q, press R, fights one. I don't know. What
Oh,
more
I
can you do
I
on this
will do
character?
predicts. Thanks for
Okay,
uh
okay.
thanks for reminding me, PB. Um, and since it's gonna take a century to get in the game, I'll just do like a in 5 minutes of mission period.
True. We've got the predictions from Mr. Plain Bagel LOL. Stavel Dog Walk Teddy. Maybe. I doubt it, but
I
we
don't
can
know.
believe,
See,
right?
like he's saying that MetaBusters is not going to lose the third series. However, I feel like Inferno is just as good. They've already lost the third series, so maybe they both need to have 3 series losses for it to even out. Like I don't
Maybe.
know.
I don't know. I am very high on this Inferno team. I know they have lost recently, but I don't know. I'm a
Yeah, I
huge
mean
Teddy
they
believer.
have lost to an FF and the
Yeah,
2 undefeated teams. So
yeah,
and
definitely.
that is the same for MetaBusters. They just lost to the 2 undefeated teams. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I was gonna pull up our good old classic Scrim Zone baked or based, but 0 submissions. So
no submissions. Y'all need to get on that, bro. We need some more Victor based back in Scrim Zone.
uh, tragic, honestly.
Yeah.
Checking back on the game, they have readied up and we're getting into lobby, so it should be about 4 minutes before we get into the game.
Can we see the draft again? Can you pull up the draft real quick for our boy Avery?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. This is the draft. I think we talked a lot about it already, so
Yeah. I mean, this is
not really
pretty
much
much
more
what
we
we
can say.
expected to come out here. I do think it's interesting that MetaBusters ended up banning this area. They just
Yeah.
got out of lobby.
What
Um,
happened? They hate
I don't
us?
know.
We're gonna be here for the next 10 years? Do you think the Lulu ban is still
Draco's
correct?
client is bugging. Yeah, I
Nice.
mean, I think so.
I mean, the champion just got nerfed recently, though, no?
I
Or is
don't
it
think
just
it
Jeremy's too
matters.
comfortable on it?
It's not even for Jeremy. I mean, like, Jeremy has a good Lulu. That
Oh, yeah.
champion should just be permabanned when Hongbaba is on the team. I don't care. Like,
Oh, that's fair.
it just makes him OP. Like,
That is true. That is true.
it's okay.
Jerry versus
I've been
Jacob is
pushing for the
actually what else
strategy for like
is
the last
interesting to me.
century, and now everyone's finally caught up. So,
What, the Lulu ban?
yes,
And then just let him have the AD carry
right.
anyways?
Because you're not gonna ban like all 3. I
That's
don't know.
true.
Banning Vayne works because you're probably not gonna pick it with Lulu. But I don't know.
Okay. Interesting.
Okay, they're back in order, so maybe.
They let Omar have Casio after phase 2 bans? I agree, Guerrero. I think it's a little questionable, honestly.
He's been playing more Syndra, and I think Syndra like actually pushing away the Renekton is a bit
Might matter
tougher
a
to
little
deal
more.
with. But
Yeah.
dude,
Do
Fujer's
you
gonna
think they
fucking troll us. Fujer is hovering Zoe and Zed. He's gonna lock in the wrong champion. We're gonna have to remake this thing again.
do you think the Zeri ban is more correct than the Syndra ban?
Yeah, I think so.
Or not the Syndra? Do you think they should have kept the Zeri ban and not just ban Syndra
Yeah, I mean
Casio?
Zeri like I don't know. It's tough because it's like you pick Vi into Zeri because you lock it down, but I mean Zeri can just dash to a wall and then just carry Vi into like another dimension. Um, so
Yeah.
it makes playing the Vi a lot easier, and I think forcing them like I don't know. You could just pick Aphelios, but then you're playing Aphelios into Vi, and your life is kind
And
of
you
like
just want to
over
die.
and
Yeah.
miserable. Um, or you end up picking Zaya, and then it's like Zaya is not as strong of a champion right now. It's not as proactive. It makes Teddy rely more on his team, so you're kind of cutting into
Yeah.
his pool. But I don't know. I mean, we'll have to see how the Casio goes. And I think honestly, like if you prep versus Alberts, you're probably prepping for them playing this style. And banning
Yeah.
Syndra and Zeri kind of forces them to just have to draft the sit back, relax, do nothing strategy. So I don't hate
Yeah.
it. If it goes poorly for MetaBusters, I think they should start looking to ban like Ornn, maybe Casio, and then see what you can do. But if they feel like they're confident in dealing with this style of play from Inferno, then I think it was the correct choice.
How can they ever engage into Orncast? It's doable. Like it is really hard, but like having engaged with the rocket to back them up, I think gives them a couple more options than like what it would look like on paper. But I don't know. It's
The
definitely a little tricky.
the answer to
But
that question is get a gold lead.
yeah, that's what
Because if
they're really
Inferno
looking
is
for.
behind and doesn't do any damage, then they can just run him down. I don't know.
Doo come from
Yeah.
MetaBusters. Blake, close your mouth. You lost your series, or you lost a bunch of series, bro. Don't speak. Sorry, bro. Your speaking privilege has been revoked. I'm taking it away, dog.
Also, Avery does have a fair point. They can look for picks super easily. Renekton,
Yeah.
Vi, Ari all have very good pick potential, and Jinx can just aid with a little rocket across the map.
Yeah. I blame Matt, so I'm still valid. Matt is trying to help you, dog. Don't speak, dog. Matt is trying to help your team, bro. Don't speak. No speaky. As Teddy's fucking client is destroyed, by the way. This client is a terrible, dog. Holy. Did you see
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
It's happened a couple times, to be honest with you. It's kind of crazy. Oh, Lord.
Okay, only a minute 30 before you get in the game. I'm
Well,
gonna
ball
like
at 23, that's
age
what you did. So true, bro.
decades.
Ask Dean, bro. Do you think I'm bald right now, Dean? What are your thoughts on that particular comment?
I thought he was talking to PB.
I have no idea. To be honest. I
Also,
think
with
he's
the amount of hair on our floor, I think yes.
That's true. It's hard, bro. Okay.
Just get a haircut.
True.
You don't even got to get it shorter. Just
All I'm saying is we pick full dive versus Zaya Cassia. Yeah. I mean that is the problem, but like the pick potential from the side of Metabusters is pretty legitimate with the Vi Ari. I don't know, like Vi kind of does have to play one way, but Ari can sort of make it so the picks are way easier to pull off. I don't know. Vi is a good champion. Yeah, Zaya is a worse champion, is she not? Like, I don't know.
It's okay. We have Soraka, so it's all saved.
True.
It's actually a bait and switch. It's Renekton support, Soraka, machine gun Soraka top into a.
I wouldn't have minded it so much if they didn't leave Cassio up. I kind of agree, but I don't know. I think banning Teddy, Zaya, or not Zaya, Zeri is also valid, bro.
Yeah,
As
I
a
mean, I
menace
think
on that character.
the Syndra ban is for sure necessary.
Yeah.
Oh.
Only saving Grace is self counter pick bot lane. Sivir would have been way better here. I think Dean pointed that out as well, but I don't know. Maybe he's just more comfortable on the Zaya. It's also like it.
Yeah, I mean, Zaya is just the I ignore
harder.
Vi button, which it's nice.
My genius, Dean. So true, dog. As we are getting into game, nothing super crazy in terms of runes. Fujer is going to opt for the Conqueror setup instead of the Hail of Blades. Probably wants to go more Bruiser setup, which makes a lot more sense in these 5v5 settings. Although Hail of Blades did get like turbo buffed, I think that rune is really strong on a lot of champions, so definitely something they could have looked out for. Renekton also with the Conqueror, so looking to play more for longer trades than the PTA shorter trades, as Omar did start here, so we got Tusini dancing mid. I do the Jake the Dog. Yeah.
Minions have spawned.
A Vancouver Amumu. Can we associate with Canadians on this stream, or?
SKT is all Canadian, man.
That's true, that's true. And look where they are in the standings, bro. Like, we can't associate with them, dog.
So you're predicting that SKT is gonna lose because they're Canadian? Is that what I'm hearing?
No, I just said we can't associate them. Not that they're gonna lose.
Dude, what's wrong with Canadians, man? They're gonna be part of our country soon. 51st state.
That's true, that's true. My bad, sorry.
They gotta like learn to adapt. Soon we'll have like American poutine.
True.
We already have American maple
dream,
syrup,
right?
except we renamed it.
Yeah. Not much to really talk about in the runes, and like, I don't know, buying the Mumu should just do a 6 clear, try to look for potentially a gank mid, or just try to farm for 6, honestly, and look for objective fights.
Yeah, I mean, I think this game is going to go well for Metabusters if they're able to get plays done around topside. I think forcing grub fights is going to be really valuable for them. Hong actually getting a pretty good root here to start off the fight. Soraka's sustain is going to be really good. Hong flashing forward, though. That's 3 summoner spells used from Albert's Inferno. Hong just needs to get a couple more autos and is actually able to trade kills. First blood doesn't matter anymore. So there's no advantage to Metabusters because they got the first kill. Wave state, a very slightly better for Alberts, but
yeah,
I don't know.
I'm surprised that he played that so aggressively, but just flashing forward, trying to get as much damage as possible. Stop does get the first blood, but as you said, it doesn't really matter because gold is evenly traded here. But I'm not really sure you want to try like matching accelerated Jinx versus accelerated Xayah, given how strong Jinx is as a champion right now. I'm not super fond of that, but
Stop's just sitting on a call now, which is it's pretty damn good for him.
Definitely. Does go for the call, trying to get as much CS as possible. Just really trying to make sure. I think he tried to flash the Soraka Q and then force the play, but still just traded 1 for 1.
Yeah, both bot laners for Metabusters do still have flash up. I honestly don't think Alvarez is going to try another play in the next 5 minutes, so I don't think it really matters to you. It's kind of better to just burn the spells aggressively to try and look for something. It didn't pan out for them here, but oh well. You don't care much. Mumu is looking towards top side. There could be a fight here, but Draco's going to miss the E knock-up with Ornn. Banish Toss is going to hit, but Fujer's following up here. They're looking for the fight. Korn dealing huge damage with the Q. They're able to get the Brittle proc onto Fujer, but they should just be able to find a kill on Albert with a flash. Fujer goes over, but Albert able to find a kill, and he's going to get out too. He's Banish Tossing back in. And I don't think that was the play, because Draco is not going to be able to pick up this kill, and Fujer's going to claim Feat of Warfare for his team.
Ooh, definitely good opener from the side of Alberts. Finding the proactive play onto the Renekton does manage to pick up the kill, but I think they just, if they walk it out, it's way better. But now they traded 2 kills into the
And now Tusini solo bolo just got the flash charm, so they would have gotten it anyway. I mean, if they both lived, then it's 2-2, but it's okay. It's a Mumu syndrome. You see a Q that you can hit, you have to throw it. It's like legally obligated.
It's like Lee Sin Q. You got to take it every time. As you know, definitely a very exciting opener from both teams so far, playing very aggressively. Sort of just getting into a more favorable state for the side of Metabusters. Fujer playing the back end of that fight very, very well. Mind controlling the movement to go back in, I guess. But both junglers getting back onto the map here after their clear and kills top side. Fujer definitely has the item advantage with the tunneler early game. Getting that AD, getting a lot of extra HP as well, versus just the Faded Ashes from the Amumu. This Faded Ashes item is kind of broken. It just like makes your jungle clear so fast on these AP characters, but I don't know. Fujer is definitely still going to be tankier here for the side of Metabusters. So.
Yeah, him actually being able to pick up both kills was really helpful to him, and Renekton isn't really going to need that gold to still have pressure top. That solo kill mid is the big thing for Metabusters here. They don't have to invest any extra resources. They just burn the flash, get the charm, find it. Very easy stuff. But I mean, as I said earlier, Albert's Inferno needs to maintain even gold or be ahead in gold and able to walk up to these objectives first, and they're already down 1,000. So not what you want to see. They should be able to come back a little bit with ornaments, but they need to prio dragons more than they did yesterday. And you know, losing Grubs isn't going to be great either, so...
Yeah, definitely losing Grubs versus a champion like Renekton who wants to chill in these sidelines is going to be a little bit rough. Korn gets a W off, gets the Conqueror stacks. Amumu is in the area too.
Yeah, Draco almost finding a solo kill, but it's a little bait because Korn does have ultimate. Is expended now. They're able to get the knock-up, and this should just be a kill. Albert picking it up, but I think Grubs are just all going to be down. They get the vision, so maybe they can deny feats.
Fujer saw smite, so this should still go for them. They have the ulti. Fujer does get a good smite off here. The ulti comes out from the Vi, as they do manage to pick up the Cassio here. Well played for the side of Metabusters. Ari did burn the ult very proactively. Is going to hit the charm and should just be another kill going over to the side of Inferno here. Or not Inferno, to Metabusters here. And this is so not good for the side of Inferno. Fujer and Tusini, probably one of our best mid-jungle duos in the server. Really showing their stuff here, looking super proactive, getting so many kills with the Vi charm and a Vi or Vi charm, the Ari charm and the Vi ulti. So good on them.
Yeah, Draco's been playing this top lane super well. Not sure how much it's going to matter in the long run with the leads Metabusters are getting elsewhere, but could just be a champion to look at banning in the future. But Vi's actually starting up this dragon. If Metabusters is able to get both objectives here, it honestly kind of just seals the game for Alberts. They can't afford to fall behind this much in the early game.
Amumu does still have ult, so there could be a play, but I'm not sure if they really have the eyes on the dragon.
Yeah. Actually, Albert is able to find a stun here, is looking for the ult onto both, is probably just going to grab it onto Jacob, just going to stick on him, try and get the follow-up here. Another bandage toss is going to hit, so Teddy should be able to pick up a kill here. Does go over to Albert, but now Stav is forced to flash. The ult coming out from Jinx is, or from Sai, is immediately going to find the route onto Fujer, and Teddy actually flashes forward into the Jinx rocket, is going to be able to find a kill, and should be able to pick up Fujer as well, unless that Q is there, and he flashes immediately onto Teddy to secure the kill. And that, I think, is still in favor of Inferno, but you're just so far behind. And really good, it's like super mega fire kick or something to dissuade the Ahri from making the play. Jeremy actually saving that the end of that play from going catastrophically, but the objective lead that Metabusters have been able to accrue now is actually huge.
Yeah, definitely getting the favorable trade on the objectives here, and also still being up in kills and a little bit up in gold. Definitely not where you want to be from the side of Inferno here. They did burn a lot of flashes trying to get the play off. It did kind of work, but Fujer does manage to sort of salvage that play a little bit with the flash Q on the Vi. Super well played from him to make the play go a little bit better. Jacob did buy a lot of time with his rocket ult as well, so I think Inferno played it as well as they did, but I think Metabusters just sort of had the read on it and sort of got a little bit of a better exchange out of it as well for them. So
yeah, I mean, Jinx Rocket did like 600 damage in that fight or something ludicrous. It was just a bit of an unfortunate timing of the flash there, but Hong able to find the root now, but doesn't have ultimate to stop himself from getting killed by Fujer, and he's just going to die. Really good lane gank coming out here. I don't think Stav's going to have enough damage to kill Jeremy, but this gets them so much value. Just denying waves into the tower, might be able to get some plates down. They could also just go for the dive.
Jeremy is going to stay for the wave here, but yeah, they're just going to kill his ass. Good kill from them. Fujer knocking them up under the tower, and then the ulti coming out from the Jinx to secure the kill for them. Gets a lot of plates here too with the 3 grubs. So this Jinx is so accelerated in this game. It's going to be really hard for Inferno to deal with. That plus the Vi and Renekton being, or the Vi at least is also super fed. So definitely going to be a very hard game for both of the carries from Inferno here. So.
Yeah, I mean, the hyper proc for the Jinx passive, able to get so many extra plates out of that. Omar going forward has a lot of damage on Tusini, but I don't think he's going to be able to find the kill. Ari is actually behind in items despite having 3 kills. I just don't think it hasn't backed on him yet. Corn is going to be able to survive here. Vision is down, but the one place where Inferno had a significant lead was on ADC, but after those kills going over to the Jinx, that's just not true anymore. Albert should be able to lock up the Renekton long enough in order for the kill to go down here. Does have the ultimate, trying to wait until both people show up, is just going to flash and just holds ult.
Is it bug? There's no way you
he might not have had mana, but Draco trying to get some fancy flashes in here. I don't think going to stop anyone enough for a trade kill, and yeah, this is just going terribly for Inferno. Metabusters is all about making these proactive plays across the map, and I mean, there you go. Fujer and Tusini just doing so well.
Yeah. Craft doesn't really matter if you're just going to be way more active on the map for the side of Metabusters. I do like how proactive they are playing. The Vi Ahri combination has been so lethal for them. Getting a lot of resources into the Vi, into the Ahri, so making us remember why we should respect this team, to be honest. Well played from Metabusters so far. Vi did finish the Sundered Sky first, is a really good item for Vi to rush. Gives you the crit and the healing on the first auto.
TP flank from Renekton coming down here. It's going to be really hard to force anything on Desire, especially with ultimate. I think this is probably just a rotation TP. Except he just started channeling a base?
He's just hanging out, bro.
Yeah,
he came to say hi. Well, I did
And-
manage to pick up
yeah.
the 6 grubs, so that should be feats, I believe.
Yep, it just went over. That's, I don't know. That's feats
lose here?
pre-12, completely uncontested. The kill one was close, and now Korn is way too far up here. Should just get picked. He's been getting punished a lot this game, but Albert just runs into his own team's Ornn pillar and can't follow up.
Wait, is my stream delayed? Am I desynced? I have no idea.
Are you watching on Discord or?
I'm watching on Discord. Oh yeah.
Yeah, Draco looking for the solo kill here is actually
Ooh,
able to pick it up with a
let's
Q.
go.
Huge.
Hopefully
Hey, and
the
Omar's
solo
just
Lolo,
eating
baby.
so much damage here.
Yeah.
Yes, this is Q-Max Ornn. Normally that's what you see in matchups versus ranged, but can be good against people that you just don't want to fight. And you can see how effective it is.
Good
Omar
ulti.
actually might find a solo kill here. He does walk out though, doesn't want to risk it. I was running a little bit low on mana.
Yeah, good ulti from Omar as well, just to deny the Ahri play with the ulti. So you can see like a lot of comfort still on the side of Alberts for their champions. I just think the way Fujer and Tusini have been playing the game, they've been so active on this map. They've made sure that they've gotten their gold lead early. I think it's like kind of hard to lose it after you've gotten this proactive already, but they do got to play a little bit diligent. Got to make sure that you are staying on top of these objectives. Just stack your dragons, play the game slow, play the game consistent, and you should be able to.
Yeah, I mean, it's losable if you don't get to objectives quickly, or if you just completely disrespect the like 5-person catch comp that Inferno has. But I mean, with the lead that they have right now and the fact that they're the ones dragon stacking, it feels like Alberts can't even walk up to objectives at all, so I think it should be pretty good for Metabusters to close out, but there always is the chance that Alberts could come back, especially with how those games went yesterday.
Yeah, especially, or sorry, as they get 2 dragons for the side of Metabusters, it is Cloud Soul and Ocean Dragon, or Cloud Dragon and Ocean Dragon. Cloud Dragon does help a lot with like your rotations, giving you that extra move speed, and Ocean Soul does kind of help you with these lanes, giving you a bit of extra sustain. So
yeah, Engage coming out here. Korn is going to get knocked up, is going to drop the ultimate, but I think he's just going to die. It delays the inevitable a little bit, but Albert does not miss, so you're going to die.
He is the American sniper on Mumu right there. That's crazy.
As you were saying with the dragons, though, I think the Infernal Soul is actually really crucial here. Because as the game progresses, Cassio's going to get tanky, Ornn's going to get tanky, and Mumu's going to start building tank items instead of damage. So having that extra burst is going to be super helpful for Metabusters, and they're already halfway there. So they just need to continue this dragon pressure, and I think it's going to help them out a lot. I don't think we're going to see the same thing we saw in the previous series, where Soul's taken a little bit too early. The Soul doesn't really benefit Albert's opponents, and then they're able to kind of just flip Elders. I don't think that's going to be a risk this game. Just a bit unlucky for them with the way the Soul went, but the way the early game has gone is not luck. It is just Metabusters being that good. And now Albert is just going to get killed on his way to tower here. The ult comes out, but now Milio ult is going to save him a little bit, and he's just going to live. Albert living on basically no HP, and Jinx ult's already burned, so they have no way to snipe him down.
Yeah,
I mean,
good play from Albert to deny the kill, but Lotto was burned there. They do lose the tower still.
Yeah, I think Jinx passive is actually going to help them out a lot here, especially with Tusini showing up. Stav is now still excited, is able to get so much damage down, but only able to find 1 kill and a tower, but at this point you're up 5k, so you'll kind of just take everything. You don't have to spend that much to get it.
Yeah, Metabusters has shown up to play today. Definitely just playing super confident, looking for these objectives, looking for really solid picks. Fujer with a really good engage invade onto the Amumu, just knowing that his team has the rotation, the prio to make it to this play in time. As Draco is still trading super aggressively.
Yeah, out of mana though, so you're not going to win this. You just have to run away. Korn not able to force the issue. That Q would have hurt. So.
Yeah.
And Fujer now just looking for the kill on Hong. He's going to find the root, and if Teddy can kite just a little bit, he's going to win this, but that Soraka ult is expended. Draco finding the knockup onto Korn, and actually Xayah just grabbed the shutdown, and Draco's going to find the kill on the top side of the map. This is exactly how you could lose this game. I mean, there's still 4k up, so you definitely didn't lose it already, but you need to not do that. I'm actually just going to step back a little bit and watch how this play went.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Future goes in.
Go to the
This is
wall.
what we saw. So Teddy kiting really well, is able to space there. None of his teammates are here to help. So he's still just positioning well. He has Flash and Barrier available, and we just missed it again. Big spectator. Okay. So he drops the ulti.
Gets a really
And then,
good
yeah, he
pull,
flashes,
right? Oh,
yes,
the
okay.
flash pull. Well played from Teddy. That's our ADC go right there.
Yep.
As Draco did also rinse the fuck out of Corrin with the flash under tower. So well played from Draco to get the solo kill on Ornn.
Yeah, I mean, this is the strength of the defensive comps. Once you get a couple items, it's a little harder to...
Ooh, Jinx Rocket!
Okay. Jinx Rocket can
That's
still
Jinx
kill you
Rocket,
when
baby.
you're 100 HP. But when you get items, it takes longer to kill you, so the defensive team can get some value. But yeah, I
Yeah,
don't know.
but so much extra gold, by the way, for the Jinx. Definitely not what you want to see, but good snipe from Stav.
Yeah, and I think Teddy might just be dead here. Is going to get rooted up, has to burn the barrier, but Jinx flashes forward, is able to find a kill, and now Jeremy's going to die too. Albert is going to be happy if he can live, but don't think Jeremy's going to live.
Really unfortunate. This Jinx is just so online, by the way. 7-2, has so much extra gold in his back pocket, as Tusini is also just going to push out these side waves, try to get the second tower potentially. Has the 6 scrubs, so it does a lot of damage to these towers as well, so... Definitely a rough place to be in for the side of Inferno. A lot of gold has been given to the side of Metabusters. They have gotten a lot of towers, just so much value out of
And
this.
Albert just eating the charm here, but is going to find the Banish Toss, is going to follow that ult charge from Tusini, is going to force ult for basically nothing. Except now Stav's here, and they're going to burn by ult to kill off the poor friendless mummy. They're not going to get anything else though.
Yeah. They are going to drop the Herald to force this tier 2. I do like this force from Future, getting a lot more gold into your pocket. Like, Metabusters have just been playing this super...
That order action is illegal.
I take it all back.
Yeah. Draco going for the knockup here is going to find it onto Jacob, who's already tanking tower, but now Vi's going to force you off of it. Millie ultimate is coming out, is going to save Draco's life. The Jinx ult would have killed otherwise. And now Hong's stacking up so many feathers. Future's in a really tough spot here, but Teddy not able to find the pullback in time. Is going to get the root down now, but he's so low. Forces the ult out, and Draco is just going to die to Jinx, and then Stav is going to be lethal, but the root comes down, takes half of Stav's health away, but it's just not going to be enough. And Metabusters is threatening so much damage to the base here if they're able to get it. And now Tusini looking for damage, not able to find a charm, but Metabusters is going to be really happy to take what they just got and retreat. And now that they probably have a really easy dragon setup. Crucial sums have been burned off of Hong. He's not going to have him up to contest this, but I don't know.
You see Metabusters really utilizing this 5 I pick super well, just looking for these picks with the ultimate. Basically off cooldown the entire game. Like, I don't think there's been a minute where Future has had his ulti up for like longer than 5 seconds. I swear, this man has been ulting off cooldown, just looking for a lot of picks with his team. So really want to shout out him. Just using the Herald to really accelerate their gold lead, knock down these tier 2 towers, just get them as much gold as possible. They're in a really comfortable position, can just rotate over for this dragon, try to pick it up, get to Soul Point. Infernal Soul is super good onto their comp, just making sure that they can burst these champions like the Ornn, like the Amumu. As Jinx does manage to pick up the red buff here, is crucially on Yuntal IE and looking for the last whisper as well.
Blue's going to reset here, so it could just get stolen by Tusini, and it is. That's really unfortunate for Alberts. Corrin able to take the top turret here, but what you were saying with Future's ultimate, the same's, I think, true with Teddy's flash.
That's true.
The difference is he's gotten a kill with it every time he's used it, which is kind of insane. Doesn't matter though, because there is 3 dragons over to Metabusters, and they're committing 4 people top to get nothing.
Yeah, definitely a suspect play, but it's really hard to just walk onto these objectives, especially since you can't be the ones that start them. So is an option for the Otacon. If you could, can we tell which one it is off the map? We might be able to do. It's Ruinous, right?
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, it is.
They fixed the bug.
You
Nice.
Cool. I know which ones, because it's like, I think the reddish icon is Voracious, and the purple, blue,
Just it's
whatever color.
blue.
It's gray. Blue gray. Okay, the blue gray one is Ruinous. So pretty easy to tell. Future crucially does also have the Sterax built here. It is going to be so tanky with the Sundered Sky healing and the extra shield proc from the Sterex, so is going to be a bit of a tricky guy to burst down. So, as there could be a play on Ornn here.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's still going to be really hard to kill Ornn, especially if you only have AD members there, and Jeremy's just going to give him a little speed to get out of there. But, I mean, this is a 10k gold lead at 20.
Yeah.
That's really bad, especially when you have a comp that I've stressed. You need to be even or ahead, and they're down 10k. That you kind of went the wrong direction. I think individual plays from this team have been really solid. Draco's done a really good job, is already able to give ornaments down. Hong's ult is forced out for Tusini's, I think, just charmed. Unless he burned ult.
He did burn ult.
Okay, he just used all 3 dashes really quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, ult for ult, and the one on Zai is going to be way more important, especially with Vi coming here, and Vi does have ultimate. Korn almost just completely taken out, so I think they're just going to choose to disengage a little bit here. They can just base, come back, fight this with full health, but they have Soraka, so they might not need it back. They can just heal them all up.
Yeah, and I do want to stress, if they get Voracious, or not Voracious, Ruinous Autocon, they lose the game. Like, the amount of extra value you'll get from the Infernal Soul and these extra dragons, Voracious is going to be a really, really hard time for them.
Maybe they won't get Soul.
You think so?
It's possible.
That is true. They are going to give it... I don't think they can get anything in response, which is definitely not where you want to be if you're the side of Inferno, but... I guess Guru is losing his house because he put everything on Inferno, so that guy might be homeless after a while. We might have to pick him up and save him from homelessness, Dean. But
that's okay. He can live in the closet downstairs.
True.
Charm is coming out onto Draco here. I think it's still going to be a little hard to kill Ornn. Only has a little bit of MR, so I think you are eventually going to die to the Ahri. Especially if Tusini just hits everything.
Yeah, I mean... He is him like that, but...
I mean, there's no time for reinforcement. Grab the rose! You're not getting anything else, just pick up the rose! Flashes away, gets the charge! Maybe Tusini?
Ooh, flash
okay, forcing Ahri flash. In exchange for Ornn flash. I don't know.
Good.
I think you just take the rose and call it a day.
Yeah, honestly, I kind of agree. But...
That's a triple rose there. Or a quad, or however many roses you get for that one. It's more than one. That's the point.
Yeah.
And Albert is going to find Korn in the jungle. Korn is so far behind this game, actually doesn't do any damage.
His, like,
burns through 2 spell rotations and deals like a fraction of Albert's health.
Yeah, Fuja is here to back him up though, so could just be a little spooky, but just chooses to leave. Going for the tower here. Just playing it safe, going for the knocking down these tier 2 towers. Could just wait for Baron spawn, honestly, and then just take that on cooldown. Your Jinx is like 7-2, so that thing should just disappear immediately. Jinx also has the LDR here, so these tanks are not really tanks to the Jinx anymore. Did lose like the max health passive that it used to have, but is still going to be a lot of armor shred for the Jinx, so if the fight goes long enough, she should be able to kill the Ornn and the Amumu, as Ornn is going to trade aggressively onto the Ornn here. Or the Renekton is going to trade onto the Ornn here, but nothing really happens because he's 1-5.
Yeah, I mean, I think if Meta Busters really try and force the play down mid, it's just going to go poorly for them. So they're just going to take a reset, buy up some items, go down bot. Teddy almost able to complete the IE. He would have been at item parity with the Jinx if he was able to. I think in terms of like gold value in his inventory, he's even because of the ornament. But Tusini is just going to one-shot him, so it kind of doesn't matter. He's going to ult, but Tusini is able to just dash on top of him, and Hong flashes and just still dies because he can't miss Ahri ult. And as Tusini going over the wall is able to find a lot of damage onto Jeremy, but Albert gets picked up first.
5-man Naga. Doesn't matter though.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, Ornn ult's used, and they're just going to pick up Infernal Soul. Probably just go grab Baron. And it should be a pretty easy game for them to just walk down. I do think you need to actually get these objectives, though, because, I mean, this still is a comp designed to repel you from going into their base and killing them. So anything you can get to make it easier is going to be really important. But really good positioning from Tusini there. Hong doesn't really have a choice. He kind of just needs to face check that. So, I don't know. I don't put too much fault on him there, but...
Is that a Seekers in Fudra's inventory, by the way? Am I seeing that right?
Yeah, he built it on every champion, pretty sure.
Oh, he does? That's kind of base. Vi does have AP scaling on her E, so it's not the worst thing on planet Earth. But
having played AP Vi mid absolutely smash on one of our drunk scrims nights. It's fun.
Not terrible. Not
It's
terrible.
bad, but it's fun. I think I was into Kale mid. The problem is Kale can build anything. So
Yeah.
I won for like the first 8 levels and then started losing.
Yeah, definitely. As they pick up the Baron, did they get Baron? They got Baron. Just picking up the Baron, they should just be able to close out this game with the Jinx. If they knock down A tower, they probably just take the whole base. Cassini is gonna go match the Ornn. Does burn the ultimate.
Oh, charmed a minion.
They kill here.
Doesn't matter.
Flash the W. Yeah, this kills him.
Yeah,
Nice.
I mean, I don't know. There's literally nothing you can do. Infernal Soul just
Yeah.
proc twice in that fight, so
Yeah, should just be a simple closeout from the side of Metabusters. For all our talk of draft, I think Metabusters just played a comp they were super comfortable on, so I don't know, comfort greater than anything else, to be honest.
yeah. I mean, I don't think I was ever sold on the fact that Alberts had a
Yeah.
better draft. I think they drafted
Oh, I
their
know, I know.
comforts. They just they needed to not get behind early, and you're playing into the team that gets ahead early. So
Yeah.
it's really tough. I don't know. I mean, they played really aggressive in both top and bot lane. I think you're basically just flipping the game off of that. I think the plays went pretty well. Unfortunately, gave over a couple kills top, and then Fujer, both of them going over to Fujer, and he's just able to go to your other lanes and just completely ruin your life.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Albert falling down super low, Jinx just able to auto from far away. Like there's nothing you can do at this point. Zaya just bought IE. It's not going to matter in the slightest.
So you think?
Draco able to find a knockup onto Fujer, but Albert goes in and just gets popped in like less than half a second. Basically, same thing's happening to Draco. Able to sell it just a little bit more. But I mean, now Jinx is just resetting. Is gonna fish for that kill in Fountain maybe, but they're just gonna end the game. 28 minute, and Fujer is in there. Is gonna burn Zonia's. They're able to get the kill. Trades back. I don't know. I mean,
well played from Metabusters. Me personally, I would give MVP to Fujer for this
it
game.
has to be Fujer.
Yeah, definitely used his early game gold super well, just looking for a lot of aggressive invades onto the Amumu, who can't really contest you in the 1v1, and just making sure that he can never play the game. Well played from Fujer, pairing really well with both his support and his mid laner to really just accelerate the game state. So
Yeah, I mean, I think we kind of knew this game was over when Metabusters had a 2k gold lead at like 8. Like, literally just needs to not fall behind at all. You have to play to stay even. And they played to flip and get ahead, which, you know, it's a coin. It either lands heads or tails.
or lands tails, yeah, of course, of course. That's the only way coin flips work. That's how life is, 50-50. Everything happens or it doesn't.
Yeah.
True.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like, I mean, Metabusters just like threw down the gauntlet. They're like, we know you're just going to play safe and not force anything. And we're
to
just,
be fair,
I mean, they just went aggro and just beat them. I mean, and if that
Yeah.
happens, like, I don't know what you can really do. Like, Alberts can either draft the same way and play more defensive instead of trying to be proactive and hope that works out. And if you do that, it's going to be miserable because you're just going to slowly bleed out over the game if you lose, or it's going to work, but it's not going to be fun there, and you're probably tilted after you lost. But I don't know. Like, maybe we can see a different draft come out from Inferno that's a little more proactive. Albert's been able to get stuff done with a more aggressive pick like Skarner, but I feel like he was pretty proactive this game and was able to get stuff done too, so I don't know.
yeah, definitely a little rough. I don't know. The Jinx, I know it didn't, like, we didn't talk about it too much, but you could really tell that it could just outmuscle the Xayah at like a lot of points. Dude got the first blood on a play that Teddy burned flash for. So like, I don't know. It is kind of rough to try to like figure out what you want to draft on your 80 carry spot when you have to draft like a hyper carry, and also Boudre has shown that they will just pick champions that can sort of shut these types of champions down, like the Vi. So I really want to see how Inferno wants to adapt into this game too. I don't think Zaya was the problem, but it is sort of hard to play Zaya as sort of a solo carry in my opinion. So I don't know. Definitely curious to see what the adjusts will be. Uh, yeah. I wonder if yeah, I don't know. It's so tricky. Like MetaBuster's always willing to draft these like super aggressive comps and just basically just hands check your opponent, and they just did that and won the hands check because their players are that good. They knew where to be at a lot of the right spots. Matched a lot of the plays that Inferno went for early, so I want to see what their adjust is going to be. I think Draco on the Ornn did kill Corn a couple times, but still got super punished by Fuder, so wonder what the response will be from them.
Yeah, I mean, Alberts has selected to go blue side. They're either going to get one of the champions that was banned against them, or they're going to first pick Jinx. I think that's got to be what the decision was.
Yeah. This Jinx champion is just so strong. Like, I want to see what it forces bans to change for the side of MetaBusters.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can get away not banning Vayne. Maybe you could leave up Janna or Lulu. I don't know. I mean, you could just scrap the whole thing. You could just leave all the supports up. Ban Vayne if you don't want to deal with it. Ban Jinx, and then maybe ban like the Ornn, because I feel like the Ornn actually had a lot of value. Draco was able to win lane with Ornn. I mean, a lot of that was through Albert, but the point of the Renekton into Ornn pick is that you're able to get things done early and then hopefully use that to snowball the game. Even though Ornn is more powerful later, but I mean, you have Ornn with a lead early game. That's
legal normally. Yeah, I don't.
I mean, Draco just plays that champion so well.
Yeah.
I mean, I will just kick it over to draft. This is last game's draft. My bad.
Yeah. Has draft started yet?
It should be in like a minute. Shouldn't have started already.
Okay, my clock is just behind because it says it's 10:05 for me on my PC. I don't know why.
You had fucking Noam time.
Sure. Hold on, let me.
But yeah. I don't know. I mean, we will take a look at Draco, the key player. I think we expected Teddy to play well. Draco played out of her mind as well. Had a really good game. Despite the loss, does have a dead even 50% win rate. I guess down a little bit after that last game, but has played 12 unique champions over those times. So a lot of Ornn games. Everything else is unique. But I think we are in draft. So Twitch is going to be banned. Lulu going to be banned. Darius going to be banned. These three are the most important bans, in my opinion. They're keeping the Vayne. So we're probably either going to see Janna or Jinx here. They are choosing to just give over the Janna. It looks like Vi was actually picked up. I forget what their ban was last game.
I can look. Hold on.
It was Nami, which I think makes sense. And they're actually just going to first pick Nami here, which is awesome.
Really?
Love that.
Okay. I mean, Nami does pair quite well with a lot of champions Teddy wants to play, but I would not consider Jacob like a one-trick where he has to play the Nami or he loses. To be fair, I think a lot of enchanters play kind of similarly. Like, there is a big difference, but like the base skills that they require from their player is not super difficult. So I'm curious to see what champion he goes for. Could go for the Nautilus if you want to really try to punish the Nami in lane.
See, consider this.
Okay.
Nami has a wave that makes your team run faster towards your opponents and can knock them up. This is this is the first engage we've seen for this team besides Amumu. We are progressing. Sejuani's just locked in. This is what you talked about last game. I don't think this is surprising. You know, something we kind of expected to see. And if they're going, if they're just going to ban Vi, you're going to get Sejuani. This is exciting. Set beats Ornn. I think they're kind of just saying, Draco, you're gonna pick Ornn and lose lane, maybe. Or you're gonna pick something else.
Yeah. I do like Set as a pairing with Sejuani. It's clearly not as good as like a Renekton combo, obviously, but like if you get the Q off, you do get the 2 autos, and then
yes.
Trundle?
I love this. Okay. Oh my god, it's so good to Sejuani. It's so good to Set. I did not know Albert had this in his bag. I am so happy. It's really good with the Nami. He gets the move speed. Really good shred. This is just good. And the Karma's picked up, which is probably going over to Omar. They're like,
Okay,
this is
wait.
awesome. They're stealing 2CD's bag of tricks. This
Oh my
is so
gosh,
good.
I thought that this.
Yeah, and I
Is this
mean, people in chat saying set support flex, I think could be set mid flex,
False.
but absolutely not into Karma.
Yeah.
This could also be Karma top.
Yeah, it could be. Could be Trundle top. There's a lot of different variations for this roster setup. I'm not sure how the Trundle top works into a set, but as we do see the Nilo.
Stop just slamming down Neela. You have to ban Syndra here.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you probably have to ban Casio too. Which means that you
'cause
can't
Nilo
touch
can't-
ADCs, which means that Teddy gets whatever counter he wants into the Neela.
Are there a lot of Nilo counters in ADC?
Oh well, Jinx is
Oh, they
banned.
just choose the Sivir.
Okay,
so they're reading
so they're
that
going
this
to
is
get
probably-
Casio or Syndra, which I think just don't ban either. Okay, that's good. They banned both. Soraka is banned against the Neela. That's good.
Nautilus?
Don't know what Jacob has left to pick. Maybe Sona Neela is pretty solid.
Yumi.
Oh my god.
The kitten has returned. Nyla
Okay,
Yumi
yeah, I
is
mean,
a really
this
strong
is
pairing,
like
though,
the counter to Neela, although I think Zaya's not as good anymore, so I don't think it works as well. I would have probably preferred something like Smolder, Corki, another mage, maybe like a Caitlyn. But Zaya's fine too. I think historically it's been like the best matchup into Neela, and there's Casio, so it is just going to be Karma top, which means that this top jungle duo is going to be so powerful. This is definitely different. And MetaBusters is all melee right now, so you want some range in the mid lane here, hopefully. Ahri is back up, so they could just take that matchup again, and I think they probably should.
Yeah, but I'm going to boo very heavily if they take Ahri again. How about that? Thoughts? Okay, they just pick Orianna. Honestly,
yeah, I mean, Ahri Neela is
well,
insane.
so.
I think that's pretty smart.
Yeah, just throw the ball onto Sejuani as well. You can get the really free engage. Sejuani has a lot of pairings here. Little trick for all of you Nyla players. You can just stack the Sejuani passive E with the Nyla autos, so it is a really solid pairing for those two as well. So definitely a really solid draft from MetaBusters IMO, pairing the Nyla with the Yumi. This combination is pretty lethal. I think Yumi did get buffed recently, if I'm not mistaken.
Dude, I have nightmares about Jacob's Yumi. And not about it on the enemy team. So
that's
I'll have to see how it goes.
That's crazy.
That said, these have been recurring for like the last 4 years, and I'm sure it's gotten a lot better since then. Except they did actually, like, Riot Games took Yumi to the vet and like neutered her.
Like
just like a fake champion anymore. So Jacob's probably just gonna be watching a movie during this.
Yeah.
All he actually has to do is just like, those like little bird things that like drink the water and then peck. Just put like 4 of those on your keys, and attach to Neela, and just give up. Like that's all you gotta do.
To bro just mansplaining Nyla being a melee champ? I guess so, dog. If you want to be like that about it. Technically, yeah, I did, but I don't know. It is like a champion that's not super common. I guess it's common in scrims, but I don't know. It is a little bit more of a niche interaction. Karma versus Set top. Pretty sure nothing will happen in this lane if Draco plays it correctly. Like, what's Set gonna do? Walk at the Karma?
Yeah, I mean,
get W'd?
I was gonna say the opposite. I think things could happen in this lane. I think Trundle could show up and just beat the shit out of Set.
Yeah, but if Sejuani shows up, like, you just turn on the Trundle, right? Like, I don't know.
I mean, if Trundle's 6, you just press R on Sejuani and then you still win.
You win, yeah.
Like, I mean, the top jungle advantage is huge for Inferno here.
Yeah.
I think the top jungle mid falls down a lot. I think you have to be really careful about what fights you take, and see if everyone's involved. But I don't know. I think this game is a bit harder for MetaBusters to play out, because they don't get to just do the same thing that they always do. Just because I think the quality of their picks has gone down a little bit. And the range deficiency is going to be really bad, especially with Karma and Trundle's ability to just kite out, and you can just throw pillars on everyone that needs to run at you. So Metabusters are going to need to execute really well here. But I mean, I think it's still doable. They showed that even if they have a comp that doesn't look as good on paper, if it just needs to run at you and force plays, they're good enough at being proactive and forcing that to happen. So I don't know.
I do want to talk about some niche matchup tech that people are using back on Sejuani versus Trundle. Versus when this matchup was super popular, people were talking about, or people were going like Halo Blade Sejuani on versus Trundle, so you could kind of deny like the big spike in resistances for Sejuani when you get the aftershock proc, and then you just take Halo Blades, get the quick stun. It makes your trade patterns a little bit better into Trundle, so you don't instantly lose when he ulties you. I am curious to see if Fujer does have sort of like this more obscure knowledge tech on Sejuani, but it is pretty niche, so I'm not sure if it'll come out. Hail Blades did get buffed super recently as well, so I think it is pretty good on Sejuani to get these quick passive trades. But yeah, definitely interesting to see. We've never seen the Karma set matchup. I'm not too surprised by that. I feel like not a lot of people have seen this topside matchup before. But Trundle has been played into Sejuani before and has dumpstered the fuck out of it, so not too surprising. Typically, you just press R and just steal all of Sejuani's resistances. It's
Yeah, I mean, I
pretty
wouldn't say dumpster
easy
the
thing.
fuck out of it when Sejuani is a 7.17 KDA
I'm gonna say
across
dumpster
those
the
3
fuck out of it.
games.
Come on, bro.
Like,
They lost. They lost.
so
The
true.
defeat screen's all that matters, bro. Come on.
I don't know. I mean, and Nami 9-5 into Yumi. I just want to see Yumi like just burn and die. I was actually a Yumi proponent before they changed her.
Yeah, I agree.
All the like busted. This is first time Trundle. So that's fun. I want to
Future
see
is 7-1 on the Sejuani
the overall
model.
records for Yumi.
Ooh.
Losing, good. That is all.
Too many Yumi antis in the server, bro.
Yeah,
Y'all
I mean,
hate
I don't
women,
know.
I fear.
I like all the busted support champions that are just broken in pro play. I think they're really interesting. We wouldn't have seen Lehen's Singe support if Yumi wasn't that good. That was awesome.
Agreed.
If you're wondering who I'm actually talking about, this is all about Tom Kench. Revert Kench. That is all. New Kench is so fucking dumb. I hate him.
Facts,
Let me gobble up my ADC and swim halfway across the map.
Facts. Correct opinion alert. But also Teddy or Stav is 14-4 on the Neela, so definitely a very scary champ for him.
Is that his champ to watch, or is it?
I have no idea. I think
Yes,
it was,
okay.
but yeah, definitely gotta be very scared of that. Tusini is like not performed on the Ori historically out of one game, but I don't know if that really matters.
We're dogging this guy over one game.
Yeah, of course. One game differential, dog. Come on.
Oh my god.
It's all the data we got, bro. I don't know what you want from me.
I mean, and Corrin lost too. Their solo lanes are 0-3.
True.
But Future Sejuani is 7-1. That's a 6-game difference.
True. Wait. Yeah, I don't know. I think this is like a Karma support game from the history books. So I don't know if it really applies to the top lane, but yeah. Jacob is 3-9 on this Yumi. That's crazy. I do think Blake was talking about how Yumi is a really broken champ right now. I don't know if you should ever trust that guy's opinion on support after
we're
the way
slipping
he played, but
Blake's like spiked Kool-Aid. Like, I don't know, it could be good spiked, could be bad spiked. I don't know.
I'm just saying, dog. That's what he's told me. Like,
yeah.
I think
worth
he's
noting.
on drugs. But
Stav is actually only 5-3 on Neela in team format.
Yeah,
which means that in signups he's 9-1 on the pick. Evan is actually the opposite. He's 5-5 on it in signups and 8-4 on it in team format. And you know, gotta pat myself on the back. 5-0 on the Neela that I don't play yet. Draw all the bans.
That is true.
I don't know. That's like my favorite thing. Just play a champion a couple times that I never pick up because it's OP, and then it gets banned against me for centuries. Like, why are we banning Jinx versus me? Surely, I don't even know. I don't know what my motivations here are. Like, because I hate playing that champion. I keep banning it. Actually, I don't know.
Yeah. God, I'm so curious. Trundle is not a really common jungler anymore. I think he's just been deported to top lane. So, uh, yeah, I'm
Yeah, I mean,
curious to see what the jungle
I
matchup will go. But
I would have preferred the Syndra here.
yeah,
I think it's a little better at following up with the Trundle and the Karma.
it just gives you a
Cassia's
little
just
extra
kind of
range, right?
slow until she hits the late levels.
Yeah,
Same kind of thing going with the Xayah. I do like that it's just like a super hard counter to the Neela. I understand why you picked it. I think there's other things that he could have picked here, especially with like
absolutely.
Karma Nami. I think it could be a really good Caitlyn angle, and I think it would help their early game a lot. But I think the draft that they did end up with should give them pretty good insurance. I think all the other matchups that are like good in Tanila, I think we don't really want to see Teddy on. Like, do we want to see Teddy play like a mage?
Yeah,
No.
absolutely. I want to see it play right now.
Like, do I just want to watch this guy farm smolder stacks for 20
Yes,
minutes? No.
absolutely.
We want to
What
see
an
Teddy
abomination.
flash at level 2 and then die and then also get a
True.
kill for it. That's what we're here for.
Honestly, yeah. I just want to get into game, bro. I need to see how this
30
Trundle
seconds.
performs. 30 seconds, I'm gonna kill myself. It's so over. It's never been more over, dog.
Oh, wait, it's actually that is crazy that Riot still hasn't fixed this, by the way. It says 30 seconds. It's actually 0 seconds because they changed the delay. They just never changed what it shows in client.
Oh, nice.
I'm sure changing what it showed in client is the reason that the spectator bug existed. Like, that's, I don't know. You know, like the low stakes conspiracy theory meme? Like, that's mine.
That's crazy. That's a good one though. I fuck with that. Riot just can't afford to fix their client, so they just, they're too poor. They lost too much money on the Hextech chest, so
So true.
they can't
Honestly,
afford
that
to
could be a
fix
good that could be a good bit. Low stakes conspiracy theories for the podcast.
True, actually.
That could get us in a lot of hot water though. So
True.
we gotta be really strict about the low stakes. Something that doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
We do see Future with the aftershock. He's not a knower of the tech, but I don't
Honestly,
think it
I
really,
think
really
giving
matters.
up Triumph and like your other precision stuff, and then not having the full stack of Resolve, I think does hurt you a little bit. But
It does, but I'm not sure, honestly. You get like extra ulti haste with Ultimate Hunter, and then you can still
that
take
doesn't
Resolve
exist
Tech there.
anymore, right? Or does it?
Ulti Hunter?
I thought they killed that for Axiom Arcanist, or am I?
No!
I'm-
Bro is on drugs right now, huh?
Okay, I feel like they
Arcanist
said
is
they were
pushing,
going
bro.
to do that, but
No.
okay. Then someone told me they did, and I believed them.
Okay, you're talking to drug addicts right now, bro. What the fuck? That's crazy. But yeah, definitely just going for the safe route. Aftershock is a tried and true rune, so Ticini also taking the phase rush on Ori, just opting for more short trades makes a lot of sense versus a champion like Cassio who wants these like long trades where you can stack up the Conqueror.
I mean, Ori also does benefit from long trades because of her passive. If you're just able to run and get the balls, you just want a little bit more. Said CDR, that shit's gone. Ability haste, so that you're able to Q multiple times in the fight too.
Oh, true, man. My bad.
What? What? I said it. I was.
Oh, you're the one who said it? That's my
I
bad.
said
That's
I was
my bad.
going to say CDR, but that doesn't exist anymore, and you said, "Oh, my bad." What?
I'm on drugs, bro.
Get
Don't
this
worry.
man
I'm
back
the
to
drug
sleep.
addict.
Yeah, you're the drug addict I was talking to.
True.
Oh my god.
Whew.
This should
There's
be a slower game. I don't know. I think Zai doesn't really want to force onto the Neela because then she'll have to kind of walk up into it, and letting Neela get in range is not ideal.
Yeah. Both junglers are just gonna opt for the 6 spare, boring, high sleep.
Yeah, I think very interesting that Yumi chose to go for the exhaust and heal over ignite. I would think that you'd want the ignite to kind of play aggressive in with the Neela, but I think maybe they're just too scared of Trundle. I guess I don't know who else you're exhausting this game.
Yeah, exhaust is pretty low value here. Could exhaust the Cassio.
Yeah, I mean, you
Who
could
wants to
use
watch
it aggressively if you get on top of someone, but at that point, just go Ignite. Really good trade by Corn there. Was able to get the snag under tower. It's a lot down, but Draco's been farming a lot better.
Yeah, just using the range advantage on the Karma here to pump them out pretty well. Phase with proc. Yeah, not much really happening. Both junglers are just doing their full clear. I think Sejuani's is a little faster. Could be a solo kill. Maybe comes out.
Yeah, I think she should just be fine. Able to walk that one out. They're making some plays bot, but again, I don't think anything's really going to amount to much. You're going to need jungle interaction to get anything done, and I think most of the kills this game are going to be happening around the objectives, not solo in lane. We have a lot of neutralizing lanes here.
Future got the bot grab, it's GG.
Yeah, Brute coming out for Draco, but again, not able to punish. Trundle is pathing up to the top crab first, so should be able to secure that.
Yeah. The one thing I will say, Set does have a lot of innate regen with his passive, so it is kind of hard for Draco to fully poke them out of lane, per se. That being said, if you can just maintain the CS advantage, I think it's pretty favorable for the side of Inferno here, as W comes out from the side. But the root still doing a lot of damage, so...
Yeah, the mana's hurting Karma a little bit here. I wonder if we're going to see more of like a tanky top build. But Omar getting so much damage back, but has to walk away. If he was able to get one more E, he gets a kill, but he might die first. I don't know. There's been a couple of these plays this series where he just gets his opponent so low and maybe could just chase down the kill and isn't going for it. But I mean, he is the Cassio one trick. I trust him to know his limits better than I would.
Yeah. Future did stay on the map a little bit longer. Both junglers are going to cancel their base. Is he looking for a lane gank on Trundle? Future is
he's just sticking in case a fight does break out.
Yeah.
Karma should have Mantra W here, which is going to be so high value. And now Albert is here, should be able to secure this kill. Forces the flash out and just drops Pillar. And Draco should be able to pick this up. But first blood going over to Albert, and I think that's probably better.
Yeah.
Draco just needs to make sure not to die to Sejuani here.
Ooh.
Position so far up that just trades the flashes. If that was intentional bait, that's potentially like an early game winning play there.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I would give the benefit of the doubt. Draco's been playing phenomenally this series. I will say it's intentional bait.
Yeah. I think the wave is in like a weird spot for the Karma. But just TP's back.
Yeah, both have TP, so it's not that big of a deal. Set doesn't have to burn it, which is nice, and we are seeing a Lost Chapter pick up for the extra damage.
Yeah,
I don't even know what tank items you would... Could you get away with a Fimble Winter on Karma?
No, because it only procs on CC. It doesn't proc on the slow, so it's like really bad.
Oh, is that like for ranged then?
Yeah, there's a range differential for it. Otherwise, I think it'd be broken on her.
Right. Yeah, and Trundle is just going to be able to get these grubs, and no one has threat onto Dragon. Early objective advantage should be going over to Inferno this game, which is a big difference. And we're actually seeing Jeremy be way more proactive on the map, is a bit more comfortable in this Navi champion. I think that's a part of it.
Yeah. It is really good for Trundle to get these grubs. The support did roam up as well, so... Good
bubble not gonna hit here. Cassio should be able to join the fight pretty easily, and Albert actually able to outsmite and cancels the Sedge dash over the wall with the pillar, and Fuji's just gonna die here. Albert,
oh my god,
bringing the fire to this game.
Yeah, with an insane Trundle pick as well. Like they've been piloting it super well. Did stay really long for the topside play, whereas Fuji did sort of greed and go for the clear here, so does get like a slight advantage. Fuji is also opting to build into like the resistances that Trundle wants to build. Like getting this Aegis early actually kind of hinders him in terms of the 1v1 because you get so much extra resistance from the Trundle steal that like you're just sort of feeding value into the Trundle. So I kind of dislike the way that Fuji is going to set up his items here. I would have preferred to see like the Heartsteel setup that no one ran in a couple games, in the last couple games that he's played the Sejuani. So, whereas Fuji is opting for the Unending Despair into a champion who wants to steal all your resistances. So, not a super big fan of that setup, but I don't know. Inferno just had a really good read on the top side, picking up the grubs, punishing Fuji with a really well placed pillar from the Trundle. So.
Yeah, and he's actually looking for a play mid right now. But bot lane is also breaking out. I think Tusini might end up dying here. He's going to get the pillar behind, and I just think Cassio's not going to be able to get into range, but flashes forward with the E and gets Feet of Warfare. It's a 3-0 start for this game for Inferno.
And Cassio critically has 2 kills. Definitely feeling a lot stronger in this game than they did last game. A lot more gold onto the Cassio. The jungler is doing a phenomenal job of setting up this Cassio as well. Super well played. Is going to opt for the Triforce setup on
it's stop flashing in with the ultimate. Is able to find Jeremy. Isn't able to find Hong. Hong is now going to have Blade Color up. Either didn't have the mana or didn't have the cooldown. Is just going to have to burn Flash, but Stop burned his proactively, and Yuumi used some as well. Set actually almost getting a solo kill on the top lane. We did not see how that happened. I don't know if it's worth going back, but Fujer in for a dive here. Teddy was able to get his, or Jeremy was able to get his base off, but Teddy is just going to get picked up.
Yeah, good play from Fujer. Does manage to pick up the kill here.
This is a little greedy. Corrin doesn't have Flash, but the shield and the heal from Mantra W is so powerful, and Set's just dead.
Oh my God. It's a disaster for the side of Metabusters. Overplaying their hand a little bit. Crucially, they do have Prio for this dragon, so they should be able to pick it up here as Turtle has no way to get into the pit. Is just going to opt for going for the clear here.
But they're actually pinging forward. They could be looking to try and fight this. Cassio's probably not going to get there in time. Something I did want to mention earlier, though, is I think a strength that Metabusters has is they usually have really good rotations with Jacob. Like, he tends to roam to the right spot in the early game a lot. That's just not something you can do on Yuumi, because if you attach to other people, there's a chance that they'll become your best friend, and then Neela won't be doing the damage you need her to. You know, more hate on the Yuumi rework there.
But didn't they change it so it's like way harder to switch best friends, or am I trolling?
Was that the buff, or?
I have no idea, but it's like really hard to switch your best friend after like 5 minutes, I'm pretty sure.
Interesting.
I'm not entirely sure. It's very uncommon to actually get your best friend to
I don't know. I would just think that if you attach to someone on top side and they get like a bunch of kills, I think it would give you enough like points to swap it over, and then you're just kind of screwed for lane. But anyway, I mean, it kind of forces you into 2v1 lane bot, and it doesn't even feel like a 2v1. Bizai is just playing at so much range into Neela, like,
yeah,
I don't know. I think the disadvantages of the pick are going to shine for about 20 minutes until it starts being more of a team fighting game. Draco
Absolutely.
just getting traded on to try and get the plate. I don't know if it actually got picked up there.
Yeah.
Tower is at 4,002 health.
Yeah, definitely, like, you see that the range advantage that Draco is really utilizing super well. I think this Karma pick is really good for them. It is up so much CS.
Fujer dashing in is able to find the early hits, but the ult is buffered, but I think the Shockwave is just going to kill, but no. Omar staying alive, the healing from Nami being huge there, and they're able to find the first kill of the fight, and now they're just going to walk out, and Albert's just going to be able to run down Tusini. Double ults burned to try and get a kill onto Omar, but they're not able to find it. And Hong taking some damage on the bot side. Neil ultimate available, but you're not going to dive this. And this is just going to be 6 grubs picked up for Inferno, and Trundle is going to have so much value with those grubs later in the game. Jacob taking tower aggro here, has to back off, and some plates are going over to Neela, but feed advantage is very much in favor of Inferno. They have the Warfare feat, and the Monster Hunter one is on its way.
Yeah. They are also getting a lot of value out of this 6 grubs on the Karma. Look at this tower. It's just getting so depleted by the Karma, whereas they still have almost a full play up on the bot side as well, compared to the top side. Crucially, I do want to say, you saw the Rod of Ages value that Omar got just because of how accelerated he is in terms of gold. Definitely has a lot of free HP, was able to live there.
It's like a 18-19 minute Roa complete. That's gonna be really good.
Insane.
Yeah, and it's actually pretty crucial to deny the grubs from the Neela. She's one of the best champions that can utilize it because she takes towers so quickly. And if you're playing into a 6 grubs Neela late game, that means that one team fight is just going to win you the game. But her having 0 grubs, I think, does help you out a little bit.
Yeah, I do also want to shout out the Nami. Nami has been at every single one of these grubs, buying his team so much extra utility with the Nami pick, getting them super far ahead with the 6 grubs. So I do think they've played it really well, getting their support to rotate up when you know the Yuumi can't really respond. The Nami ult also buying a lot of time for the Cassio
Yeah,
to
Trundle looking for a play here mid. Tusini's probably just dead. Able to get the pillar at the exact right angle. Albert is looking so good on this pick. Future might be able to turn this fight though. The Bola is going to snag Albert, but is now just going to ult the Sejuani, and I don't think they're going to win, but I think Future's going to be able to keep his team alive. And now Stav flashing in for another ultimate, but is just going to get rooted up. Has a W active, but Hong can still get the feathers placed. Not going to have Blade Color up for a little bit, and Jeremy's actually able to live through this, which is super crucial, and is going to get the pullback. Just a couple more autos is going to kill Stav. Has to burn the ult, and still not able to find the kill, but Flash's Ward is going to get the auto, and now Jacob is probably going to die too, and gets the root, and should just be able to pick up the double kill, and credit to Jeremy. He's able to live and keeps Hong alive for so much. Both of them play that so well, and that's another solo kill in the mid lane. Mid lane's been bloody without jungle influence, and even more when the junglers show up. And this game has been going so good for Albert's Inferno.
Yeah, we're going to game 3. I'm so hyped. Teddy played that so incredibly
I wasn't going to caster Cursive, but now that you have, I will say I think if they look forward, I think you need to force Metabusters to pick between Jinx and Nami.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I think what happened last time is they kind of forced Jeremy on the Milio, but this Nami is looking so good in his hands, and I feel like he was a little less proactive. So just something to look forward to, and then they're still able to get that vibe ban over the Nami. And Draco's just going to one-shot that entire wave. Oh, so satisfying.
Karma is such a good champion here. Did opt for the plated steel caps into this set as well. Just, I don't think you're ever going to die topside. You have the Malignance completed as well. You are so lethal with the mantra Qs. Is going for the more supportive setup after the Malignance would be very charming in their inventory.
Yeah, if they didn't already have feats here, by the way, they would get it again. They were able to take bot tower after that play, but Neela didn't even have ultimate to contest that. And Horn has honestly just been really gapped this series. Drake has been playing so well. You know, kind of sleeper picks with the Ornn and the Karma, but he's doing a really good job.
Yeah, I don't know. I just dislike the way Future has really atomized into this Trundle pick as well. You don't want to build resistances, you want to build HP versus the Trundle, in my opinion.
And Albert just running Stav down here, forces the Yuumi ult out, and Neela does have to burn one of her dashes. But now the collapse is coming down. It's going to be a 4v3. Numbers advantage over 2 Metabusters, but Jeremy trying to keep his teammates alive. The ult coming down for Albert, and he's just going to live. Future flashing forward, trying to find the kill to Jeremy, not going to be able to find it. And this is just so good for Albert's Inferno. They're up 11-1. They're going to get this top tower. And they're just walking forward, trying to find this kill onto Neela. Burns the ultimate. Just going to stop the bag. And Cord, you don't win this. You should just complete the recall. The ward did go down, though, so Draco is going to get this fight either way, but he's just going to die.
Yeah,
and one more auto.
Well played from Draco. But yeah, you see how much value this Trundle is getting with the ulti as well. Like, he is so unkillable with all the free resistances he's getting from the Sejuani. The counter pick here in the jungle was so insane. That's so well played for the side of Inferno. Avery said, you know, I think it's all thanks to that bull I ripped for Teddy. I agree. To be honest with you, solidarity with my boy, bro, is so locked in, but I think it's really the jungler that's doing so much work. This Trundle pick has gotten so much value for them in this game so far, really accelerating their leads here.
Yeah, Future actually might be able to find a kill here. 700 gold going over to Draco though, so the shutout is going to be worth it. It looks like Future isn't even going to go for it. The healing and shielding is so much, and Future's not in range to get the stun off. I think if he just kind of kept running and didn't back up a little bit, you know, you maybe could have found something, but now Hong's just going to cut Tusini off, and
Herald going over.
Yeah, I mean, and Metabuster's got a dragon, and they're going to get bot tower, and that's it. That's all. They've got one kill. And I mean, this is the team that won last season. Exact same roster. You could say what you want about the Andromeda series, where they're not running their main roster. You could make points there, but this is strong Metabusters, and Albert's Inferno is making them look like they're in a different league.
Yeah, definitely super strong plays from Inferno. They look really on top of their game. Jeremy has been everywhere on the map, whereas Jacob has been so tied to this Neela that like they haven't really been able to get anything done. And you can really tell that support has had so much impact on this game. All 7 kills that the Trundle has, Nami also has an assist for, or not 7 kills, but every KP that the Trundle has, the Nami has also been there for. So I think it's just really well played from the side of Inferno here. They're playing so well. Utilizing their grubs really well to just knock down all these towers. Has tier 2 top already down as well. Should just angle for mid lane here.
Yeah, I don't really see what they can do to stop him. Like, Stav can flash ult, but we've shown time and time again that they're going to live through that and then kill you. So, I don't know.
Draco did also opt for the Shurelias on the Karma as well. I really like this. Just so much extra disengage.
Looking to Leandri's to finish out the build too, but Teddy's getting collapsed on here. Is probably going to have to ult, but Jeremy's going to be here to heal him up. Is probably just going to be picked up by this Nami ultimate, but actually he's able to live for so long. Jeremy's going to get picked up as well. Albert should just be able to finish this off. The exhaust is getting a lot of value here, but Chomp and Neil's dead. Albert's still going here. Should just be able to win this against Fuzier, but trying to kite out. Knows that the Orianna's in the area.
Yeah, Sejuani with the Yuumi should be able to win this, and does manage to pick up 2 shutdowns here. 3 shutdowns for the side of Metabusters. This is a really tricky spot for Infernos. 2 kills.
Yeah, except Draco can probably just one-shot Jacob if he doesn't attach.
Let's get the W, but I don't think they get anything else. So.
Yeah, I mean, they're able to close the gold lead about like 1,000, maybe 2,000. I think it matters. I don't think it matters a lot. This next dragon should just get picked up. And if Algis is able to secure a couple of mountain drags, they don't even need to get soul. It's just going to be so hard for Nila to play the game.
Also, like, the mountain dragon is like sort of a double-edged sword for Metabusters as well. If you give the Sejuani extra resistances, you're sort of just feeding the Trundle more resistances as well. So I'm not entirely sure how much they can really get back if they go for the soul here, but it should just be really good for the Inferno team as well. Since they don't really have a super tanky comp, I feel like the extra resistances that you get from the Mountain Dragon should just be super relevant, so that you are just that little bit more tanky.
Draco running in here should be able to find the root from the Mantra W. Tusini actually dealing a lot of damage here and still has the ultimate available, is going to hit the shockwave and might be able to win this fight. The Mantra W healing a little bit, but now a fight's breaking out in the mid lane. Hong looking for a kill onto Stav, forces him to use one of his dashes away and not able to find anything with the blade color, which is crucial here. Has the ultimate available and is just going to dodge both ultimates. This slow field from the Bola is going to cause, you know, just the disengage. And Draco's like back to half health again.
Yeah. Chill character, I think. They do get the dragon as well for the Trundle.
And Korn should just be able to get run down here. Omar able to do so much damage. Does have to back up because of the W, but Stav's now back up top, but doesn't have ult, so I don't think he's going to be able to find a kill.
Yeah, definitely such a disadvantage coming out from the side of Metabusters.
Sejuani looking for a play kind of behind here, but Karma's the only one that's low, and I mean, I don't think you're going to kill her.
Yeah, it's so hard to kill this Karma. She's so tanky. Does have the Faded Ashes for a little bit of that extra damage.
Shurelia's coming out here. They could be looking for a play. Stav just going to back up. Otacon's on the map, but I don't think either team's really going to look to force it.
Yeah, it is going to be the Ruinous Otacon.
Maybe. It could still be bugged.
We're about to find out in the future, but definitely if you get the Ruinous onto the Inferno team is super strong. Being able to get so many extra resistances with the Mountain Dragon is going to be super good for them. So, because I feel like with their team comp as well, they all build so much HP items that it's going to be very hard for them to do.
Yeah, I mean, you're not starting this. Like, let's not kid ourselves here. I think maybe they were thinking that, and Alberts had started it, and they're going to try and stop him, but especially not with Set and Sejuani. Set is barely a champion in this game. Everyone else in the game, or everyone else in the other team, except for the support, has 2 completed items. And on Metabusters, you have Sejuani with 1.5 items. Knight's Vow doesn't count. And then Nila's got 2. The difference in strength here is ridiculous. It's not quite the 10k gold difference that we saw last game, but it's very strong. And with a comp that scales so much better, so it makes sense that it's taking a little longer to start up. There are pings coming out. They think Sejuani's a little too far up. Hong walking forward is getting a lot of damage down, gets Sejuani passive out, but they're not going to get anything else. Maybe just walk and start up the Otacon themselves, but I think if you do that, you just got to bait with Casio ult. Corrin is going to get rooted up under tower here, has some minions to help him out, body block a little bit. So he's not going to fall down, but I think Karma should just be able to pressure this tower. He did a good job of clearing the wave out, though, so not able to get any farther damage.
Yeah. Draco is like 2 levels up on this Sejuani in the solo lane, by the way. Just has gotten so much more EXP using that range advantage super well. So Draco playing this top side super well.
Yeah, Teddy did have the kite down there. The Neela and Yuumi together in an open lane can definitely have kill threat onto him. Really good bubble by Jeremy though, and I think Fuju's probably just going to die. That does flash away and ult. Will keep him alive, burns all of his cooldowns.
Yeah, Teddy isn't quite able to match both the Yuumi and the Nyla, so they are going to drop the tier 1 here, but I don't know.
Yeah, they're able to get the tower. So now they have 2 towers, a dragon, and a kill. 4 kills.
Yeah, but Otacon is going to be gifted over to Inferno here, so I don't think you're ever complaining. Draco's just AFK in the side lane.
It's set in Sejuani, and they're not going to win this. I do want to see it, but there's danger pings coming out from blue side. They're a little worried, but Draco has level 3 ult already, and has 3 levels over set and 4 levels over Sejuani.
Yeah. As it's just gonna be a bit of a lull in the game state right now. Not much really happening. Inferno does have a 7k gold lead, is in a pretty commanding spot with the Otacon and 2 dragons. Really, the
with the ruinous Otacon buff on top of 6 grubs and 2 dragons and probably a third in a minute, they're gonna obliterate towers. We're not back in ye olden days where Mountain Drake gave you extra turret damage, but
yeah, it is still pretty good. Dude, that's a fucking old. That's an old pull, bro. Holy shit! Like I forgot about that one, to be honest.
It's okay. You can just pretend you're in like 2016, and that's why the purple things are showing up and killing the towers.
True.
You just
remember the old.
You just took a tab of acid and then took Mountain Drake. That's what happened.
True. As MetaBusters is gonna try to contest a little bit of vision onto this top side. Look for the.
Maybe they're trying to flip a Baron. Maybe they're trying to flip a Karma. I'm not sure you're going to get away with either of those. Although Oriana was actually able to play it pretty even onto Draco. So if they're able to play this really well, I think there's an angle here. But dodging away from all of those Future abilities to start off is going to take probably both ultimates here and should end up dying. So we're not going to have an unkilled Karma top. But with Flash and the shields, it's going to take a damn long time for it to happen. Giving that shutdown onto Neela is going to be pretty good. That should be a completed moral reminder on base. And Jeremy's probably dead too, trying to kite towards Hong, and there's just the 2 of them caught out. Trundle is showing up, Hong's able to get a lot of damage down, but not enough. Does have the ultimate, and it is going to be burned. But honestly, really beneficial play for Stav, and I think you're happy trading the Drake for those 2 critical kills.
They might go for the Baron here. This is very doable. This is very doable though. They are very tanky.
They have no ults except for set ult, and Trundle is just going to get set ulted out of here. They are sitting on top of the ward though, so it'll be interesting to see how Alberts plays this contest. They are walking up, a Farsight is dropped for the timing, and they're not going to be able to get it, but Trundle steals it! Albert's so good. And now Casio and Zaya just get the free hit, they deal so much damage. The 2 strongest members of the team eliminated instantly, and Corrin picked up yet again. Hongbaba may be able to find a 4th, and has Flash, could flash over the wall, but he is not about to Penta Hunt. He just wants to end the game. Humble Teddy.
Penta hunting.
He still has 20 seconds actually. He could just run top.
He's going. He's not a baby. No, he's not. Alright, fine. Whatever.
Wait, now
objectively
he is.
correct.
Now
okay,
he is.
Wait, hold on.
Let's go.
Teddy's edging us. Yeah, just go for the end. Does have the Baron with the 6 grubs. This should be a really easy end.
They have ancient mountain. That's what I'm gonna call it.
Yeah. As the members of MetaBusters are responding,
wait, Trundle isn't there.
I think it matters. What did Trundle die to?
Did he die? I think it was base.
Okay. Yeah, definitely definitely a good spot for Alberts. The smite steal was insane from
Yeah, it's so sad we didn't see the
Albert here.
penta.
Yeah, definitely a little disappointing, but it went for the consistent play, get the 2 inhibs, just reset, use your golden tempo to knock down that last inhib, and potentially end the game with the Baron as well. So,
Yeah.
really comfortable spot for Inferno. Meta Busters did feel really pressured to get the Baron. I think they could have won it, honestly, if they just went for if Fudra hit the smite, but it's always going to be a bit of a 50-50,
Yeah,
especially
I mean,
with these 2 champions that don't have a lot of burst onto
right,
the Baron.
you're trusting Set to ult the Trundle out.
Yeah.
Like, you're just going to go for a safe, sure thing, 1200 smite as Sejuani, and you're not really anticipating Albert flash smiting in like the god he is.
Yeah, Sigma Veil Trundle. There's a Sigma Veil Trundle edit right there for free, I think. I don't know, man.
Yeah, Draco grabbing blue buff for her team, and they're just going to walk down, try to get this triple inhib bot lane. Korn missing the root.
Ooh, just
Teddy
explodes.
did get hit by that, by the way. It just didn't do anything.
Because they should just knock down this last inhib. Should be able to just use this Baron to try to
Yeah,
end
I mean,
the game.
Som does have both Soms and ultimate, so this fight is definitely not over, but Teddy does have Xayah ultimate. That's
just
why this is such a good counter pick. The ultimate.
I mean, they also just can't walk up and hit
So
the wave, right? Like, it's so hard.
Yep, you've drafted like basically all melee. Tusini is able to damage the wave a little bit, but has to kind of be in range of the other team in order to finish off the waves.
And this fucking Baron minion should just end the game with the huge.
Yeah,
like,
actually, huge shockwave followed up immediately by the Needle
Xayah?
ultimate, able to find 4. This is the best fight they possibly could have gotten, and Albert's going to fall down really early. Omar almost dying. Just kidding. Hong is now absolutely lighting up the other team, and Korn going to fall down as well. Maybe he's going to get the kill onto Jacob too, but that's going to be a 10-2-5 Xayah, and that is a 6-0-10 unkilled Cassio, and Albert really fell off the KP train because he just got picked there, but that boy's got to be my MVP.
That's my MVP as well. Like, I know the Trundle didn't do as much early game or late game, but like that early game was insane from the Trundle. I think he played it so well, gaffing the fuck out of Fuja early game and just flash smite. That's all you're there for at the end of the day, dog. Like, I respect it so much. The Trundle, first time Trundle for Albert, fucking Exodia into the fucking draft that they pulled off. So, well played from him. I did want to, like, the shockwave from Tusini at the end of the game was pretty good, but unfortunately did not just CC up the Xayah, so very tough from them. But well played to the side of Inferno. This we said it would be a banger, and here they are. They're delivering, dog. Like, holy shit, what an amazing game too. Definitely coming back from a bit of a rocky start from the side of the first game, but Inferno bringing it back for them. So well played for the side of Inferno. Draco on the Karma, I know that we didn't talk about it too much, but they played it super well. Omar on the Cassio as well, they played super well. Doing a lot of damage, following up their jungler a lot. So the mid-jungle duo this game, I think, really found their stride. Found like a lot of good 2v2s. Support also roaming up for all 6 of the grubs, I believe. So they were just able to really lock down their early game, really find their stride, and I think it was just well played from the side of Inferno. Whew. What a banger game too. What adaptations do you want to see from Meta Busters in this third game?
I don't even know, because this is.
I think you dropped the set.
This is not.
Set's not.
I mean, for sure. I think there was an attempt there, and I think it was a let's see if you can play a different champion. And yes, the answer is yes. So now you know. So now you don't pick Set anymore. But I mean, I don't know, because it's so tough. It's like, do you try to adapt? Like, this is Inferno's like basically golden draft. If they're trying to play something aggressive, no, I don't think you do that. Because I think this draft shows that Inferno has a box that they like to play in, but they can draft outside of it. And just the fact that that's true, now you have to consider a lot more picks, so you can't just pick your same strategy. I also think this was just a terrible composition for Meta Busters. This wins you games if you're in ranked flex and it's a bad matchmaking, because you can get a lead everywhere early and completely smash it. This is not a comp that can ever do anything if it's down 1 in
This is the
12.
ranked flex draft is
But
awesome, by the way. Holy
I don't
shit,
know.
that's a banger.
But
No,
yeah,
I
I mean,
agree.
you have no range. You have Orianna, Neela, which is a good comp if the other team doesn't have Karma, Cassio, Zaya, Nami. Like 2 out of those champions make that draft really hard to play. 4 of them is kind of doomed. I know that you want to go for comfort. I know that you're confident because you just won the last game. But let's also be dead honest here. Jacob is too good for you to be putting him on Yumi.
Kitten duty.
Because he didn't get to do anything that game. I
Yeah.
honestly kind of forgot he was in the game. Like I started calling Nami Jacob. Apparently, like I just wanted to see that he was doing something. He's basically dead absent, and we've seen Jacob be so good on other champions. I think you got to get him off the Yumi. I don't think we can be picking Neela unless you ban Omar's entire champion pool, and Hong has already picked an ADC that Neela beats, which isn't happening this series, by the way. That's not gonna happen. I did like the Sejuani pick. That's kind of it though.
Yeah, I do think I do want to shout out Jeremy. I think he just played the map way better. I know it's hard to roam on Yumi, but like he really did abuse the fact that you know that the support can just never roam, and you should just never play for the bot lane 2v2, and just walked top lane and walked for these grubs, just played it super well. Really well played from Jeremy. Avery saying God woke up and made sure the Yumi lost. It was divine intervention. I
Hell yeah,
agree.
brother.
Yeah. Just I don't want to see them revisit this CB pick. It's
Yeah.
just
And I mean,
I think you can put Jacob on way better champions.
yeah,
and
as
it'll
I
work out.
predicted, MetaBuster is on blue side here. I don't think Inferno should ban Jinx or Nami here. There's an argument for Jinx. You could take that away, but I honestly would enjoy Twitch Darius Vi and just take the trade because then you can lock in whatever counter you want into Jinx earlier instead of just waiting all the way for Zeri to go through. I don't think a Mumu is really something you need to be picking early. It's not like Future's going to play it, and if it does, I don't think this champion is as unilaterally good as people say it is. So I don't think that's a huge loss for you. And Albert looks so good when you put him on a champion that has carry potential. And this is going to be Jinx, and we should see Nami and probably also Zeri here.
Yeah. As it is going to be the Jinx blind for the side of MetaBusters. This champion is still just really good. Stav looked really good on a game 1. I do want to see what they pick for the counter. You've been talking a lot about this area. I think it would be really good. Pairs
Yeah, I mean, I
decently
think
with
they're
it.
thinking about it a lot, and maybe they've landed on Misfortune. Definitely don't hate this, but it means that they're playing a very different style than even what they played last game. So
yeah,
love to see this change up from them, and it's kind of as I said beforehand. You can't just plan on them picking Karma Trundle again because all that draft tells you is that they're willing to switch it up.
Yeah. I do kind of. I'm not entirely sure where MF has fallen in terms of strength after her nerfs, I believe. I'm pretty sure she got nerfed like a little bit, but was super strong a couple patches ago. But the Nami and the MF does pair pretty decently. You put the little bubbles onto MF, and she just does a lot of damage with the Q. Rocket is going to be the pairing with the Jinx, just making sure that Jacob isn't getting super pinched. It's not Yumi, but definitely not as active as the Nami, I'd say. So
Yeah.
as
I mean, it
MetaBusters is
is
going to just
something he played early and did well on, and now we have Tusini showing that this is a Syndra server. Let's be real here. Like 4 of our mid laners just love that Syndra.
I sleep.
But I mean, who cares? I'm sure Omar knows what to play into it, and the way is picked here. I love this. We've actually seen.
Xerath. It's Xerath.
Same thing.
Basically
the same
not
champion.
the same thing. That's not true. I feel like Xerath has a bit more range options into the Syndra, and like I feel like we've historically seen this more as the default.
Yeah, I mean, I think they accomplish the same thing for your team.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I feel like Xerath is a bit more about the damage, or his way has like a little more utility. I don't know. I'm not an expert in these matters, but
yeah. But I mean, it's interesting to see that jungle prio has completely dropped It's not even considered in the beginning, and now Albert's Inferno is actually banning a Mumu. They're listening to me when I said it's not the right call, and
Yeah.
they didn't hear me when I said you don't need to worry about Future playing it. But I actually do think with the Jinx Syndra
Garner
comp,
ban.
it's really good. And
I like
respect
that.
is shown over to Albert banning away the Skarner. The problem is Orin's up. You should probably pick it here so that the other team doesn't pick it, because they have
Yeah.
Jinx, Syndra, Soraka. Ornn is Exodia, and
Yeah.
maybe I'm overstepping here, but Future could pick Lee Sin, and this comp would be the coolest thing I've ever seen. And by
I
coolest
agree.
thing I see, I mean I see it at 3 a.m. every day when I watch LCK. But the Nocturne lock here is good. I'm glad we see Albert on a very proactive champion again. And Stav on Jarvan means that if this game goes
Love.
long, we're going to see another Zany's Hourglass, which I'm a fan of. But this should be Ornn,
Yeah, Ornn with the
please.
Jarvan should be a really consistent engage tool for them. Fudra is also our best Jarvan player. Like, it's going to be the Mundo instead. Okay.
I don't love this.
Yeah, not a lot of follow up in terms of engage, but like is sort of just able to walk at the MF in theory. MF is sort of hard to play MF into Jarvan. It is a mobile ADC, so if Jarvan ever just drops the baby cage on you, you're crying forever. Also into the Xerath, if you can find these really good EQs, which Fudra should be able to find. Like Fudra has
Shen.
been a beast on this Jarvan before.
Okay, so we have another supportive pick
It'd be
coming
hard.
up for Inferno, and I think it synergizes really well with the
They have
Nocturne.
the
Um,
yeah.
it does make me feel like Zeri really would have been perfect here, because if you take Misfortune out of this comp and throw Zeri in, it is amazing.
Mhm.
It's still pretty solid because the rest of your champions have synergy, but I don't like MF here because
Absolutely.
you're going to really struggle into the Jarvan, as you already talked about, and it's going to be pretty tough for you to actually deal damage into Mundo. You don't really have consistent tank shred. And something I do want to mention is this matchup is fucking terrible for Shen. Mundo's shield makes it so he doesn't really have to care about your taunt, and you have 3 autos against him that deal extra damage, and he has 1, and second one if you count Heartsteel, and he's just going to beat the shit out of you. Shen's going to have a lot of value in this game early, or you're really just going to get outscaled by the Mundo, and I don't see the point of R5ing your top laner. But that
Yeah.
said, Draco has had Korn's number all series. I don't think Draco needs a favorable matchup to keep doing that, so I'll have to see.
Absolutely.
But I think Inferno's draft here, whereas previously I've either been in favor of them or just thought that they were getting what they want, I think this is a very risky draft for them.
It's a new draft for them for
Yeah,
sure.
it's something I definitely like to see. You have 3 globals. So if you get a good Misfortune ultimate, you're going to be able to protect her a lot. And if she gets ahead, she's just going to be dropping autos like crazy. After seeing all the picks down, there's just so many champions that could have gone better. So I'm a little nervous for Alberts here.
Avery is asking you to put down the predictions so you can make the bet and go to bed. Bro's a little tired. I do think it is going to be a little tricky for Inferno. I do want to stress, Fudra is our best Jarvan player by far. He has played this Jarvan so well. I feel like he has been such a threat on this character, and I think drafting these immobile mid laners and this immobile AD carry, it's super risky from Inferno to play like this. I'm not a fan of it personally. I think the Shen is sort of like this attempt to try to bridge and like defend your Jarvan. But it's gonna be really hard for the side of Inferno to play this game. I think just based off the way that Fudra has played the Jarvan before, it's just so risky for them, and I feel like it's gonna be a comp that this is like a comp that Meta Busters has played in their sleep. Like unironically, like this they have so much comfort for their side. Stav on the Jinx, Tusini on the Syndra. This is a Syndra server, so definitely a lot of strong comfort for them. So
yeah, something I do want to point out though is if Xerath plays this game well, they're going to have a Jarvan flank to have any chance of killing him, because he's just going to outrange everyone, and you don't really have either a bruiser that can go in or like a hard engage tank in the top lane, and Mundo is just going to eat damage from Xerath all day. If we get an early tank shred item, like if we have like maybe even Leandri's first, that's probably bad for like 8 reasons that I don't understand, because all these zoomer items. But I don't know.
Oh,
You need to avoid early for sure to be able to kill Mundo, and anything that gives you extra damage against healthier targets is going to be solid. But I think we need to see Inferno get ahead early this game. They've been playing to do that every game. It just didn't happen to pan out in the first one. So I think if they're able to keep the tempo up and not let Metabusters scale, they should be eating well. But if this game goes late, it's got Metabusters written all over it.
Yeah, absolutely. God. Yeah, and Mundo just scales so fucking well too. I know you talked about how Shen should just lose this matchup in theory. You're really just praying that you can get the Shen out of lane and pair it with the Nocturne. First Nocturnal is going to dictate so much of this game. You're going to see how much value they can get out of these Nocturnals, how well prepared is Metabusters to play against the Nocturnal as well. It'll be a very important vibe check for the state of the game, and I'm very curious to see if it'll work out for them. Shen plus Nocturne is a really good combo. It is sort of the instant Shen delivery system that you kind of want for these sort of fights. But
yeah, and Xerath can get super long range vision when he hits the ults, so that's something to look out for there.
Yeah,
Kind of good
Arnie
setup
did
for the
bet.
Nocturne to go in.
Yeah, Arnie did bet 18K on Infernal, so big shoes to fill for
Oh,
our
he was right last time.
sure.
That's the wrong one. Sorry. Weird. Not there yet.
Yeah.
Oh. I already updated. Okay, sorry. I forgot that I had it pulled up. But yeah, Hong has been really good on Misfortune here. First times for a lot of their champions, so, but I think part of that's just them being new to the server, and I do trust all these players on all these champs.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah.
Future is only 4-3 on the Jarvan. That's crazy, but his KDs always look insane.
Yeah,
So
Stav and Tusini, the two carries for that team, are super comfortable on their champions, though. So
yeah, absolutely. God, it's gonna be a banger game 3. I'm so excited to see where this goes for them. But hold on, I'm gonna go get some water. I'm dying.
damn, bro, I'll probably get water when he gets back. Yeah, I don't know. This is pretty strong comfort for everyone on Metabusters. Obviously, Jacob not having as high of a win rate on his pick as the rest of them, but definitely something he's comfortable on, and he's working towards it. As we saw in Game 1, he was able to pick up the win there. Yeah, I mean, I'm really confident in the Misfortune Nami duo. It's very comfort for those two players. I just wonder how it's going to be able to play out in the late game. Hopefully, they should be able to apply some pressure and make it a little even and not just get steamrolled like we saw the first time around. But looking at the season records, the top side for basically both teams is looking pretty weak. And it looks like everything else is kind of in favor of Metabusters with the Syndra, Jinx, and Soraka all looking a bit favorable. But yeah, I mean, moving forward, champion matchups that we've seen, basically dead even except for the Jinx into Misfortune, which does make sense when you're outranged. It's either a situation where Misfortune is a good matchup into Jinx, but a lot of people who don't play Misfortune pick it into Jinx and then end up losing, or it's just genuinely a bad matchup for Misfortune. Just brought up the other scenario first, since it was picked knowing that the Jinx was on the table. Still a bit sad that that was not a Zeri, but you know, you live and you learn, and if this doesn't work out for them, they'll know for next time that they're going to go for something like this. Do have about a minute left until we get into game, so I'm just gonna. Oh, never mind. There. Oh, never mind. I already ran ads earlier, so I'm not gonna do that. But Mason, fill the air while I also go get water.
Yeah, I've just refilled the water filter, so
Oh, okay. I will wait.
it might be empty. Yeah, but yeah, definitely gonna be a very exciting game 3. I'm so excited. I really want to get in game so bad. I know historically MF hasn't been super good into the Jinx, but I don't know. I feel like it is just it's playable probably for the MF. I don't know. Jinx is such a Omega champion right now. It's so hard to play around her because of how strong she is. The arcane diff is making a lot of impact here, but I do like this look from the mid lane as well, from Inferno. Knowing that the Xerath is such a good counter pick. It is up to execution though. I feel like we have seen a lot of the. Have we seen this matchup a lot from Syndra? Xerath?
Yeah, it was like three times we've seen it, and Syndra's won every time.
Gotcha. It's conceived as a good counter pick into the Syndra in theory, but we'll see if they can execute on it. As we are getting into game, not really much to talk about. Nocturne is going to go for the Conqueror. I feel like most people have decided that Lethal Tempo is kind of a bait rune, so hard to really play it out there. As...
The weirdest dance in League of Legends.
Yeah.
Why he wiggle like that, man?
I have no idea, bro. As Teddy is pinging the Jarvan, I agree. You are going to get killed by this Jarvan, Mr. Hong Baba. It is going to be a hard game for you, brother. But
yeah, maybe he'll do the Mason Classic of just 3 camp bot or level 2 camp bot. Yeah, I say Mason Classic because you did it to me once, and I will never forget it.
Yeah, it definitely could, but most drivers are opting for full clears nowadays. This jungle meta has just been full clearing and trying to make sure you have good tempo. But Shen also did opt to take the TP instead of the ignite, so you really are just never gonna kill this Mundo ever. Like, it's gonna be sit there and hit each other until the cows come home, and then nothing happens forever. I fear, until Mundo just presses R and walks at you. So both junglers are starting bot side as well. So Nocturne really wants to just do 2 full sequences and then try to get a good ulti off. That's typically the game plan. Jarvan can choose to opt into like a little more aggressive early game plays. Level 3 ganks, level 2 ganks. Really depends on which flavor of flipping the game you want to do. So
true. I think Hong and Jeremy should have the advantage in this lane. Really, it's going to be tough to really punish you. You got to get a little lucky with some Qs, just because of the range advantage that Soraka has. And even if you do get a lot of poke down on Misfortune, it's going to be healed up from the Soraka. They do have that silence to just dissuade it. So initially a pretty good trade for them. They don't get traded back too heavily on, but they're just not able to force as much damage as you could into someone else.
Jacob did burn the first potion, and Jinx burned the potion as well, so you do technically have the pot advantage. Draco is using the 3 honor skin, so not a toxic person, right. Clearly. Surely. That's what that means. It's
good thing they've removed them due to corporate greed.
True. As both top laners just trading grass procs. W coming out to block the autos from the Mundo, but utilizing the passive pretty well. Horn is walking pretty aggressively here.
Yeah, Draco able to trade really heavily. If that 3rd auto went off, it could have been close. Not worth flashing the risk, though.
Yeah. The thing is, I think my top laner has talked about this matchup with me before in call when we did it, and Shen does have kill threat onto the Mundo and lane. Especially if you take the ignite, it's really low if you take the TP, but if you take ignite, look for the early aggressive ease. It is possible to get a gold lead on Shen. It's just Mundo should just outscale you forever in the side lane. So that's really the win con that they've kind of gone for.
A flash engage coming out from Fuji here does force the flash stun out of Omar, so giving your mid laner a nice advantage there.
Yeah, I think you technically missed sequence. I think you're supposed to EQ flash just to really surprise the Xerath here, but it is a little trickier to do that. So yeah, does still force out the flash either way. It's
and double scuttles.
True. Double scuttle, double diff, GG, FF. Can't play the game as the Nocturne, I fear.
Yeah, I mean, Fuji honestly made the smart move there. Like, not going for that combo eliminates any chance you have of messing it up and looking dumb on stream. So
yeah, I mean, I just blamed him for not doing it correctly, but that's a different argument.
That's you said it's safer. Like, it'll make up for it, you know. Like.
So true, so true.
If he just blows it, there's no saving it. Oh, you should have just done the other one, because you wouldn't mess it up.
True. Well, yeah, I don't know.
Surely this is not a recap of a conversation I've had with Noah before, but it was not meant in that way. I saw the connection when I was talking as well, but it was not.
Yeah, Future does have a substantial gold CS lead just because of the 2 crabs here. Is gonna have a bit of a level advantage.
He has 3 CS over him. He's barely up a camp. But mid
He'll
lane,
be up 2 camps. So.
mid lane is a huge gold advantage though. Tusini's doing really well. Tusini's been able to punish the matchup very efficiently. I think the running joke is that Sarvis and Brewer are the real Syndra players, and Tusini just picked it up because they played it so much, but he's definitely played it enough that he's quite comfortable on the champion.
We are the Syndra server because of those 2 goobers, so gonna be a little tricky for them. I think Draco is playing this matchup pretty well, is trading pretty aggressively on the Shen. Did ding 6?
I feel like Draco's kind of lost the kill threat though with the ultimate available for Dr. Mundo now. You make a good engage and he has plenty of time to react because he doesn't get taunted.
As the ulti is up, looks like they are going to look for this trade of dragons for grubs. So the tricky thing here is you don't want to give Mundo 6 grubs. That's like something that the Mundo will always be able to utilize super well, especially with Shen ulting out of lane. It's going to be so tricky for the Mundo to... or for the Shen to really recover if Mundo gets too many plates. But getting the Infernal Dragon early is super valuable for your team, so it'll be good. Doesn't manage to dodge too, but...
Yeah, I feel like the last 2 games that Albert Inferno has lost, the last one from last night and the first one today, have been because they didn't prioritize dragons enough. So they honestly might just feel more comfortable with the dragon in their pocket, especially when it is an Infernal Dragon, which I think is going to be the most important one for this team. Draco's in a tough position here, is going to try and avoid the dive, is able to block the auto from Draven going in, and
TP.
He actually gets everything out. Draco now does need to flash because Corn followed up. My bad for letting directed cam run there, but...
Yeah, they did TP up to try to block the play, but did live the
and now
card,
Omar's getting caught in the rotation. He gets immediately stunned off and just run down. He was trying to go up to help him, but he just gets picked.
Yeah, well played from Metabusters. Knowing that the Shen can't really do anything on that dive, is going to miss some of that wave. Is going to burn TP to try to get back here. Future could go for a redive here, but could be really risky this time. Knows that the Shen doesn't have flash.
Now that Shen has full health. Shen had no HP last time, it almost worked. Draco's able to get a kill in return and is just running down Future. Did have to burn the flash in that previous fight, so he doesn't have too much to follow up, and Future's about to get his back up, so I don't think that second kill's going to come down. But now the Xerath Nocturne combo that we talked about almost picks up the kill, but
good flash.
Nocturne's just going to flash it. I don't know the cooldown on his projectile.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that was going to be out, but
risk it.
Yeah, and that's totally fair. Tusini had the flash, so could react flash, and you know, in this case, at least you force it out.
Yeah. I was talking about how the first Nocturnal is going to have to be super impactful. They do manage to pick up a kill with it, so they are trying to get this Nocturne rolling ASAP. It's going to be a little tricky though. Only getting 1 kill isn't like the most value you can get on Earth with it. It's going to burn the spell shield, but picking up the passive means no
I mean,
trade.
I think you can get more out of it than 1 kill, but getting the kill like pre-8 is really good. A lot of the times, if you're watching like pro play, it's going to be a lot slower, so they're going to be like, the first ult is super impactful because it's not going to happen until 15 minutes. But if you're able to get like 2 or 3 decently strong ones, it's going to help you out a lot. As Draco is going in here, and I don't think either champion should have kill threat. You know, some fun tank versus tank.
Yeah, definitely a lot of damage from the Shen here though. As not much else is really happening. Bot lane has been pretty
Teddy running in
so
now is
far.
actually able to dodge through the Jinx traps. They are able to snag up Nami. I think also something to note is that Soraka can just cancel Misfortune all of that. Draco's actually just able to pick up a kill. It's immediately traded back by Tusini in the mid lane. But I think Future is going to take down Draco, so...
Is winning the 1v1 though for the Shen. Yeah, you're seeing how much damage Shen can do, so...
I think Warfare went over...
to Inferno.
Yeah, to Inferno. Because Draco got the kill first.
Yeah,
Yeah, didn't say it. Oh yeah, it did. I just can't see
it
it.
did. Rose blind, I fear.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good trade. I do like how aggressive Draco is playing the lane.
And Hog getting a slow
Draco.
here has flash to follow up aggressively on this and is just going to commit it immediately. Jacob didn't have time to react, and even if I think he did, I think the Q auto still goes through. And now they're doing the exact same play onto the top lane. Blocks CC, but it can only block the Nocturne Fear or the Shen Taunt as they do the triple ranged ultimate. And I was saying that they'd get the vision from Xerath ults chasing down low HP targets. They're getting the vision from tower. Sure, you get 3 grubs, but every time you hit a tower, 3 people ult you and kill you. I don't like this.
Yeah, critically, bot lane
I'm
did also reset for this grubs, so they are gonna just full rotate everyone to make sure that they don't get all 6 grubs. We'll see if because ADC did roam as well. He's gonna try to go for this mid wave.
Yeah, Jinx might be able to get some plates. That is another grub going over to Metabusters, and now Albert's caught a little bit, doesn't have the flash to get out, so just is going to need this fire support from over the wall. The Nami wave going in helps him out a little bit, but now Jarvan ult's committed, which actually traps him in the Misfortune ult, and Honma has to use Barrier to survive. So Susini's ult, just all these important abilities dropping to start off the fight, does make Inferno a bit lackluster on the back of it, as that's all their damage. Misfortune's able to use her ult on the trapped Jarvan in his own ulti, but he's basically full health still. And that kind of shows what you were saying in draft, when Jarvan's going to be a huge problem for these guys.
Yeah. Definitely a little bit of a rough play. I think they overextended to try to take one of the grubs. I think if you play as the Nocturne, if you wait for your team to show up a little bit, and then try to like play the fight a little bit differently, I think it goes way better for you. But instead, they sort of start the grubs and then get really trapped here.
There could be a fight breaking out here. Jarvan does buffer the bubble, which means he's just going to get picked up, which I think means there isn't a fight here. And this should be that third objective of the game, being picked up for Metabusters, but Hongling for a solo bolo in the bot lane, but Corrin able to find a turret and should just be able to walk this out. Might have to burn flash though.
Yeah. Definitely not where you want to be. If bot lane does manage to give over this dragon, this should be feats for the side of Metabusters, and you see how much agency Fudra has had in this game, has looked so active with the Jarvan starting up a lot of these plays for his team. So
yeah,
like
Fudra knows that he's starting this up. He is on a control ward. He's going to get collapsed on. Syndra's here, but I don't even think she's going to be needed. Fudra dealing so much damage, and the Syndra tax is going to come down. Tusini's going to steal it, and Jeremy's ult just not going to have any value here.
Yeah.
The gold deficit's actually already 5,000.
That's crazy. So much gold has been able to be traded over to Metabusters. Inferno feels really pressured in this game to try to win this fight, as another E coming out from the Shen.
Yeah, now Mundo's at his point where he gets his 2 big autos with the Heartsteel. But I think Shen's still in position to win this one. Actually, got a Heartsteel of his own. But I think the gold lead is almost entirely in mid lane. Because if you look top, it's only slightly in favor in the jungle. 3,000 gold lead mid, slightly in favor bot support. So Tusini just can blind his champion, and Xerath clearly is not the counterpick to it, at least so far this game.
Yeah. He's gonna go for this Blackfire Torch Cosmic Insight, or Cosmic Drive. That's the item. Yeah, Cosmic Drive setup on the Syndra.
They're using their multi-ult combo here, but they discover that the Jarvan's sitting right on top of the Syndra, so they're not actually able to follow up with the Nocturne. Second part of this ult.
Definitely a little bit of a rough spot for the Nocturne. Did manage to get some good early plays, but is sort of getting clapped back on as
Draco in trouble here, almost falling down. They just need to remember that every time you get Heartsteel, the other person also gets it back up.
Yeah. At least with the Heartsteel proc, you are going to be at least able to match the tankiness of the Mundo a little bit. It's not as good, obviously, because Mundo does so much damage with the extra HP, but something at least. As Metabusters has just looked so good with the Jarvan champion and Fudra's pocket.
Tusini looking for a kill here, is not able to walk up as Xerath was coming to punish, but That's going to make it tough for him to really force anything before he gets a base off. And Tusini just trying to do the same thing again. Walks up. Actually does take a W from Xerath. I thought that was going to be a lot more damage, but he was pretty far behind.
As Tusini is showing why he is the third best Syndra, is one of the best Syndra players in our
Top
server.
three. He's top 3.
Top 3, sorry.
They're all top 3. And then someone can do the fuck the big 3, it's just big me, right? So
True.
if I lump all in the same category, someone's got to be K-Dot.
Yeah, but it's showing why they are super strong on the Syndra champion. 5 kills, 1 death. Has been playing so well, pairing up with their junglers super well, as the Jarvan is just gonna ulti the Nocturne here, try to lock them up, but
yeah, it does force the flash out. Syndra wasn't able to do that, but Syndra also didn't expend it all, so
true.
I don't know. Albert's just not having luck farming. He's 30 back, and Corn actually in a rough spot here, but should be able to heal up so much. And he decides to hold the ult. He gets Soraka ulted. Not sure that was necessary, but they don't really have much to fight for over the next couple of minutes, so it shouldn't be a big deal. But Draco going back in, trying to knock Corn down low. Seems to be winning out a little bit, but now the Mundo ult is burned, and Draco looking to pick up the kill before he's able to get too much of his healing down, but just not able to do it.
Yeah. I mean, this is why you see Shen's take Ignite in this matchup, though. Like, Draco has had so much kill threat on this window, like, the entire lane.
Nocturne has ult. He's
barely able to live it.
gonna get there after Tusini gets the kill, though, and they know Omar doesn't have flash, so he's not able to get anything in return.
Yeah, Tusini is just playing out of his fucking mind in this series, just knowing your damage on this and just blowing the fuck up out of the this era with your combo. So well played from Metal Busters here, really utilizing the gold lead. And you see why probably Fujer is so okay with just giving his skills to Syndra. He knows that Tusini knows what he's doing on this champion and just is so willing to just make sure his Syndra can play the video game.
Yeah, but now he's actually able to get the stun down on Tusini. Tusini's able to knock him away, but Omar does have ultimate. I don't think he's in range to follow up. But if Tusini is able to land one more combo, Omar's just dead. He's kind of got to space him out in the bush a little bit, but he is going to hit the stun. Shen ult actually keeps him alive, and Nocturne's able to pick up the kill. Does need to burn 2 ultimates to get that back, though.
Ooh, Draco blocks the ulti, though. I'm going to say that's calculated.
Dude, I legitimately forgot Jinx was in this game. She hasn't interacted with any of the fights. I saw the Jinx pop up. I was like, what's that doing? But yeah. I don't know. Eventually, Jinx will get to actually interact and play the game. Teddy's also been pretty silent. He was able to get that kill earlier, but they've both just been farming up. Almost at 10 CS per minute, just a little under.
Yeah, this game has really just been about the mid jungle duo.
As it was in the first game, too.
Yeah. I mean, it's been all about the mid jungle duo in all 3 of these games, I feel like. But
that's true. Just depends on which team. Draco is getting knocked down. Doesn't have to burn the W yet. Critical to save that, but now they get trapped by the Jarvan ult and counter Nami ult in return. And Misfortune ult is just not able to find anything there. And Fujer devastating the backline, but Hong's able to turn, get some damage down. And it's kind of evened out, but Draco going in and now is just going to die there. But now Jinx is excited and is running in. Tusini not able to find that stun there. That could have been huge for Meta Busters, but I think they get the Drake regardless.
Yeah, definitely top for jungle. You do kind of want that trade, but it's still super hard.
Oh, and he was caught sleeping. He gets hit by Syndra and the Jinx rocket.
Base canceled by the minion. Did I see that correctly? I have no idea, but definitely got their base canceled, and Syndra just manages to punish him in time as they could also pick up this dragon here. Ulti comes out, but they don't get anything.
Omar tries to get some damage out, but does reveal his position. But here he spaces right. He's able to hit everything, and Tusini gets no damage dealt. Tusini trying again, but if Hong's able to get in range of this, this could be so good for him, but he's just a little bit shy. Does have the flash if he wants to burn it, but this is a dangerous game if he face checks that.
Yeah, definitely a little suspect to try and face check the Syndra. Mundo critically has completed the Wurmogs as well, so I don't think this MF is going to do any damage to him anytime soon.
Yeah, and
So
Teddy's definitely building for burst damage here rather than sustain. Doesn't have any of the precision runes and hasn't bought Bloodthirster, which is kind of what you want to go if you're going for a more sustained fight, Misfortune. So I think their game plan is kind of, hey, who cares about Mundo? Let's just make sure we kill Syndra, Soraka, Jinx as fast as possible, and then we can just deal with him later. But that does force out Hong's flash. He tried to walk forward into it, no one's died. But Omar's ultimate is just going to pick this up. Draco is just over the wall and has no clue that they're starting this up until she's able to get vision of it. But I don't think there's really any way to contest this. The two globals were just burned bot, so this should just be a Ruinous for free.
Yeah, getting that empowered objectives with the Retro Hexel, I believe? It's Hexel, right?
Yeah, and they have the power of the Ancient Mountain.
True.
I knew it would come up again.
Oh, true, dog. But yeah, definitely it's gonna be a little scary to drop Hexel versus, or just Hexel in general with the Ruinous. It gets so much extra attack speed in the haste, so definitely a very spooky spot to be in for the side of Inferno, as they are also down like 7k gold. The Syndra and the Jinx are really accelerated. Stav hasn't really been super active, but you don't really ever need to be on Jinx. You can sort of just play the quiet carry and just hit minions forever until the game.
Going back to the split of the gold difference, it's now kind of raised up to like 800 and all the other places, basically dead even for ADCs, but it's a 4k, 3k differential mid. Like, Tusini is just playing. It's hard out here. I don't know who I'm talking about, clearly. Sarah trying to get something done with this ult, but again, it's pointless. Tusini going in. I need to put some respect in this man's name, and hopefully I get to do it when he absolutely blows up Draco. Is going to ult after the Shen shield comes down, and now Shen actually able to pick up a taunt. Knocking Tusini down really low, and Hong should just be able to finish this off, but Flash is traded, and Tusini has a lot of space, and he's just going to live. He played that so well. Hong looked to change that, but he almost got killed himself. As Tusini running down, Misfortune ult still not going to be able to pick up the kill, and everyone's alive but at low health down in the bot lane, but mid lane's where all the action's happening. Rift Herald hits, and they should be able to pick up a tower, which is going to get Jinx passive procced, and they could just be able to run this down. Stav walking up, able to get some damage down, but it's not enough. And both the Misfortune and the Shen just had to back out, not even able to find that kill onto Tusini.
Yeah, MF just not really a sustained damage champion. Even with the ulti, was not able to pick up the Syndra here, as they are going to drop double inhib towers.
Yeah, Draco going in for a taunt, but only ends up getting Mundo passive, but actually really good flank from Omar on the back of this. He's looking to get the kill and is able to pick it up onto the Soraka, which is going to cut their survivability a lot, but it's not enough, and actually the kills are in favor of Metabusters there.
Yeah, as INF could be potentially grabbed for Metabusters here. Jinx gets excited once again. Teddy is here dropping a lot of damage, but Flash
gets the flash out of Future. Or
Corn.
Oh, I think he just flashed at the same time that Dragon Flag and Drag.
Yeah.
And he's actually able to get it. Was that, oh my god.
First strike.
Yeah, first strike, got it. It's awesome.
Yeah. As Teddy has a decent amount of his team gold, but God, it is such a rough game for Omar here. Has been really getting punished by the Syndra and the Jarvan in this game, so.
Yeah, Omar immediately stunned up there, but it's fine. Something to note about the Nocturne Spell Shield interaction with Syndra is that when she goes for the QE, the Q's normally going to take off the damage, and then the E's still going to go through, so you don't actually end up blocking the knockback. Tusini falling down super low here. Omar's able to get over the wall, but doesn't have his ultimate. Now he just walks way too far up and just gets collapsed on, and Tusini able to get the kill. I think he's hit the threshold for the execute.
Yeah, Teddy is trying to position for these ultis, but this is sort of why I hate this Misfortune champion in general, though. You're so immobile, and it's like, you have to find a comp where you can just are able to stand still and auto or just not auto, just fling the ultimate in a certain direction and just they can't leave. And this is definitely not a comp where you can do that. Like Syndra and Jarvan just have so much threat on you if you stand still. So I don't know. Would have preferred the Zeri here, like you said earlier. But
yeah, Tusini getting so much damage down here, and they're able to just pop the tower, which means Jinx is going to get excited, and honestly, this could spell the end of the game without their front line. Jinx dealing so much damage here. It's been farming up so well this game.
This should be the end of the
yeah, they
game
still
here.
have a wave alive, so this probably is just going to be the end of the game. They're able to find the Syndra stun onto Jeremy, and Na'Vi Misfortune ultimates all are available, and they need to hit really well if they're going to change how this goes, but they're going to find they doubled Na'Vi and Misfortune ultimate, and it lines up perfectly for Fuji to just collapse on them. And once again, Metabuster's fishing to get kills in base. Omar's just going to be able to go up and auto Syndra death, but it doesn't matter because Korn's going to be the one to end the game. And banger series, a lot of quick games, but a lot of really fun ones to watch.
Yeah, definitely a good series. Who's your MVP this game? I'm having such a hard time to picking.
I feel like it's got to be Tusini.
Yeah, I want to give it to Fujer because I think he played the Jarvan really well, but
I think Tusini did so well in the late game. That's what really stands out. Like, they worked together to get a lead, but I feel like we saw so many times where Tusini was just able to poke people out at the start of fights and just catch them out. Like, Omar was just getting junked to half every time he showed up to anything. I don't know. I could go with Fujer if you deeply believe, but I feel like Tusini.
No. We'll give it to Tusini. I'll slight my jungle brother for his performance in game 2, so we'll give it to Tusini. Surely that should have influenced my pick at all. But yeah, I think Tusini did buy a lot of time in these side lanes. Just played with these 1v3s, 1v4s super well. Was spacing super well with the Syndra stun and everything. So I think he earned the game 3 MVP.
Oh my god. we're trolling in chat. This is awesome. Oh. Amazing.
Was it not a 2-0? Let's not. Wait, we only played 2 games. Was it not a 2-0? Brother in Christ,
Fujer
I'm
has
going
like
to crucify
alcohol-induced memory loss or something.
So true.
Yeah, I mean, Fujer tried to say that he should get MVP. He's claiming that Tusini died mid-game to Nocturne like twice and had the most deaths. I feel like, I mean, A, he only had one more death than you, and B, if you're playing this comp as Inferno and you don't get 3 kills on Syndra in the mid-game, you aren't even playing the game. And Jacob saying you should give it to him, and Nolan explains that is because he kept Mundo alive on the side lane with that ult for no reason earlier in the game, which is bars.
So bars, honestly.
Let me see if I can I can pull in some people. Actually, I want to get Future in here. I was gonna pull Tusini since he was the more recent one, but we gotta get our boy in here. If I can get the, there we go. Hello.
Oh god, I got abducted.
You've been snatched for your MVP interview for the first game.
Oh god.
Wait, did he get MVP in the first game? Oh yeah, he did. He did. I forgot. It was the bye game, right?
Oh yeah, that one.
Gotcha. Our combos were abysmal game 2. Dog, you guys look like you. Okay, I can't say what I want to say on stream. So
God. Anyway, I'll actually ask you questions instead of just talking to chat. But anyway, were you expecting the series to go the way it did with the first 3 bans, where you get Vi in one game and then they ban it for the rest of the series?
I wasn't expecting to play Vi. I was like, well, who's gonna carry on their team? It's gonna be Teddy. I should just pick Vi. We didn't think they were gonna play Xayah. But then we were like, oh wait, they can pick Xayah. And then they pick Xayah, and we're like, oh, well, now what? And then
we're just working.
I don't know, the game just played out and it worked. I got the double kill on top lane, and then I think I just snowballed from there.
Yeah, that's I think exactly what we said on cast. I don't know. That they're just playing a comp that's so tough to get back when they're behind. So I wasn't super surprised after you got that initial lead.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, after losing game 2 as badly as you did, was it hard to bounce back mentally? Did you keep your head in it? I
Oh, we
feel
were
like
we were chilling. We were just like, guys, I think it's winnable. I think we should go here, guys. I'm just gonna start Baron. You guys want to come?
yeah, I
And
mean,
yeah, I think we had good vibes. We were having a heart to heart
yeah, I feel like Albert
before the game started.
yeah, Albert had a great series this time too. Is this your first time playing against him? And I feel like if so, did he live up to
I
expectations? I feel like he had a banger series.
I think we've played a scrim against him. I think other than that, I think it's our first time. But
Oh,
yeah,
right, yeah. I mean, we checked that on stream. Sorry, I knew you'd never played him before in scrims, so
yeah,
yeah.
But yeah,
Also,
we got turbo draft gap in game 2. We don't talk about
yeah,
that.
a little bit. Did you? So have you played the Sejuani versus Trundle matchup at all?
Oh
I'm
my
just curious
God,
to
Oh no,
know
no,
about it a little bit.
I know you're not supposed to go aftershock. I realized during champ select, I was like, oh shit, I fucked up.
Okay, I was just curious. I wasn't to flame your rune choice. I was just curious if you'd played the matchup at all. Just that's all. That's
Yeah.
all. That's all I wanted to
But
know.
Mason
Yeah,
was like,
no,
I
you're
think he
supposed
should
to
have
go
gone
Hail
Hail
of
of Blades, and then he's like,
Either go Hail of Blades or
he
you
shouldn't
go
be rushing
Fleet.
Aegis. He needs to build Heartsteel instead. I
Oh,
don't
I
know.
was tearing into your shit, bro. I'm
It
sorry
was
Oh
about
yeah,
bad.
that.
no,
It
don't
was
worry
bad.
about it. Don't worry about it. It was a bad game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
We were just
There
trying
is
to go
also the fleet
Nexus
tech,
as soon as
right?
possible. Yeah, you can go
Yeah.
Fleet.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah.
you've joined Fruitcakes as the only team out of the top two to have a 5-0 scoreline. I was saying before the series that hey, you guys have only lost to the teams that are undefeated. I think y'all could be favorites to end up third or fourth this season. I don't know. How are the vibes on your team feeling? How are you feeling about your next three opponents? About how the season's been going for you so far?
Uh, well, we were talking about it in game 2, like, guys, what if we just miss playoffs? What do we do? And then we're like, oh, I guess we just disband. We just call it.
I thought you were gonna be like, we're talking about that. You're like, oh my god, like this team is some of our best competition. It's so good that we're winning this. You're like, no, let's quit the game because we're gonna miss playoffs. That's the team spirit I like to hear.
That's awesome.
But yeah, we realized no, we can't disband. We got to come back. We gotta end strong. We're gonna
And
win
that
playoffs.
mentality is why the Sacramento Kings still exist.
True.
Yeah, I understood that reference.
Oh,
Same.
I don't know. Someone out there appreciated it, and by someone I mean hopefully Slav is listening and definitely Noah. But anyway, really good series. We were definitely tempted to give you 2 MVPs that game. I definitely missed you last series, but you came back with a bang, and I think beating this team is super important for y'all's chances going forward. So
Good
good
series,
luck.
honestly.
Yeah, good luck for the
Yeah,
rest of the
it was a lot
season,
of
and
fun.
great series. Thanks for playing.
Thank you. Bye bye.
See you.
All right, I think we can end
Got it
stream
here.
there. Yes. But yeah, GG split
Alright.
teams. Scheduling for next week should come out soon, so we should know who they're playing up next soon. But thanks for watching. See you probably tomorrow for the
Bye.
restreams. Peace.